Where y'all at? When it was Canaan, Egypt, it was a Nile Valley civilization. Black Egypt. It wasn't no Mediterranean culture. Like and subscribe. You gon' get tormented for 4 minutes if it's war. When it just said Jessaru got a false door in it. The Nubian flow, that's before Kemet. My Kim T got rubies and gold, and it's fit for a Kushite king. But what it look like, the green Sahara ring bearer, bring terror to your satellite kingdom, so they do not bother me. Scarification look like wavy line pottery. Kush with the black top pots, a rap top notch, and I could kick it till your laptop stops. I'm like Tahaka, Shabaka, or Pianki, the author's a father. Any cocky, I came down and out through the lands of Kush, living a pre-dynastic pharaoh way and marrow way. Kerma, Khartoum, or Simna by the 5th cataract. Now I put the 5th wheel on the Cadillac. So much ride a white man couldn't battle that though, they had to paddle back. Black Egypt. Black Egypt. Black Egypt. You gotta look and see where the Nile started. Black Egypt. And how it was easier to go downstream and upstream. And which way the river flowed. Don't look at the color, look at the culture. Black Egypt. What you know about Dynasty 00? Roll through with Shimsu Heru on the standard. Ta-Nehisi, Sudanese G's. Try to test me, I'm an archer from Taseti. The squad ready, so I'm stepping in with the extra thin leopard skin. A tail on the apron with my crown on. You can crack jokes, but I ain't the one to clown on. Hey yo, Egypt was black, and that's a fact. All you little suckers need to step on back. They tried to throw us off, but we kept on track. We started doing research, but you slept on that. And with Kemet, it don't matter what the name means. If it's a black culture, then that's the same thing. Race science is a lame thing. Ever since Nubian times, I let the chain swing. How the first known in Egypt was Taseti, but Taseti was Taseti already. Yep, it meant the land of the bow, and when Egyptians needed archers, this is where they would go to recruit them. I got arrows and I shoot them. Who them fake pharaohs? I uproot them and use Black Egypt. Black Egypt. Black Egypt.
I was just over here talking head to my own self.
Black Egypt.
You know when you be too hypey, you be talking to yourself while you rolling up. What's up with it? Let me open up some more blappers so we can get it in. Go on and like the video. Go on and like the video. I'm gonna show y'all how to knock down clowns. Why I always win. Cats seem to not know how to always win. So I'm gonna help some of my archers out today. Cause y'all be hopping in these digital spaces taking so many goddamn L's. So I'm gonna give y'all some pointers on how to always win today. Let me get these DBs right on this microphone. Mic check, 1, 2. All right, like the video, let's get it out, let's have a good show. Let me find another blapper to play. See, now, I don't know what y'all doing, but I've been rocking with Slander from day one. I ain't gaslighting like you suckers. All that polite shit ain't got shit to do with Slander. But y'all need to listen. I was the first motherfuckers who told all y'all that the whole house of consciousness was going out crazy. Golly. And my whole theme was, I went out there to see what it was, and Slander was a real one. That's how it turned out. When Polite tried to Shanghai me, Slander broke bread. Simple as that. I ain't saying he gave me Polite money, but it was 2 situations that was going on, and it was nothing going on shady with Sa. I don't even do all this other shit y'all be doing. But all y'all really is doing is gaslighting, trying to get on the person with the most views so y'all could get some views. So I'll be looking at that like that's hella corny. But I don't be tripping though. I mean, you could be corny. So, crabs in the barrel gotta do what they gotta do. You know? But gaslight and smash, you always gonna catch an L. You only gonna win while you talking. Soon as you stop talking, you're gonna catch a fat L. But by the way, just listen to this song and see what I was just trying to tell you niggas about this information and about everything. Let's go. Oh, damn, that's the wrong song.
My favorite.
They want y'all to get on some hip-hop shit. Nah. If y'all would have listened to this damn song, see when young Pharaoh started losing his mind? I wanted y'all to help him. So I started speaking towards it. I told you motherfuckers Polite was a scammer in this damn song. And cats just nodded their head. See, I'm a rapper, so that's how I communicate my shit. I ain't really a YouTuber. But here we go. Damn, now I press that crazy blow and it say, look, I gotta show y'all this. Just so y'all can see how the morning's starting. This should say, the song that Crazy Bro could not be used because the original location. What? You lost that Crazy Bro? All right, hold on. We about to find it. Because luckily I just renamed the original file the other day. But like the video, let's get it popping before I fry Jean-Charles Decker, the wife-beating gaslighter. Deadbeat dad. Acting like he worried about kids but got a son somewhere in Africa. He don't know where the fuck he at. Y'all niggas need to reckon with that type of shit. And stop getting gaslighted by clowns. But hold up, though. I was looking for this song. It's called They Crazy, Bro. So it should go like this. They Crazy, Bro. All right, mix down. There we go. Now I can retell iTunes where the song is at. And we could get the show started. But, you know, we're going to have hella fun. But yeah, I'll show y'all how to always win on the internet. Now listen to this song and listen to the lyrics and say I didn't tell y'all how everybody was going out losing their mind. So I was just at the house in Oakland like, man, are y'all seeing this shit? And I made a song about it. Oh, damn, they keep playing the wrong shit. Here we go.
Yeah, and I'ma work cause I ain't going out lazy, bruh. Thought he was conscious, but his homie just played me, bruh. The house of consciousness is going out crazy, bruh. They crazy, bruh.
So when I really was talking about thought he was conscious, but the homie just played me, bruh. Think about the whole shit. God damn. Do motherfuckers be having to say shit and make it simple for you? So you could say, this ain't even entertaining no more, because it's that damn simple. Who y'all think I was talking about when I said, thought you was conscious, but homie just played me, bruh? Come on, man.
Yeah, and I'ma work cause I ain't going out lazy, bruh. Thought he was conscious, but his homie just played me, bruh. The house of consciousness is going out crazy, bruh. They crazy, bruh. Alright, it's getting kinda dirty in these YouTube streets. The Amin Ra squad, God thinking you dudes weak. Islam or Judaism, where you learn what you dudes teach. The West African rappers slapping with that voodoo speech. All that sub-Saharan terror about a cuckoo feet. I'm like Norma, that agricultural farmer that grew you wheat for the storehouses. We feed the Hebrews and lead the people when we defeat the feeble. They wanna know Polite ripped me off, but Sonetta paid me my money though. That mean he 100. And I'ma work cause I ain't going out lazy, bro.
Now if you got somebody like SMashrock telling you Polite ripped them off, then you think that ain't enough for you to know not to fuck with blood?
Nubian with the Jews, I rock the pinky. I think Jesus got to save me. A doctor save me, a Dr. Inky. I cop the copper jewels on blue and red. I'm not the chakra doctor, y'all claim woke. But you in bed, you won't pop a chopper, you Grandmaster J. You just talking. Punks turn the other cheek and you will walk away. Y'all gon' have to pardon my Moorish. That's to Harker Bay. I'm on that black African power on my darkest day. And that's my brother Ankh stomping them other punks. We brought them gators to Italy, you loving the Moors. And now I'm teaching from my shrine like brother Jabari. Scoping the savannah cause I'm on another safari. Tasha K showed us Frank record. Young Pharaoh just losing his mind and y'all can't help him. I know one thing, you're a fool if you're still out here donating to Umar school, that shit cool. And I'm
now check this out.
Going out lazy, bro.
Since y'all don't know how to, hold on.
Just play me, bro.
Fuck that.
Consciousness is going out crazy, bro.
Since cats don't know how to win on the internet, I'm gonna do a little lesson for us.
Look, you showing your hidden colors like Tariq Nasheed, a bunch of pseudo information I don't think I need. Probably lying on the text, ask Divine or Zion Lax. Just get that microphone ready. With Metal Netta, I'm Stone Jetty, a Ujahu, a Saw Imhotep. Y'all probably timid still on them Bobby Hemmett teachings. I'm in Gozy with the DNA. Cats corny and it's killing me too. You talk that black shit, but you look Arab like Gorilla Hebrew. You need therapy, they telling me just chillin' be cool. I'm a magi orchard, you a sad guy talking. And I'm a worker, cause I ain't going out lazy, bro. Thought he was conscious, but the homie just played me, bro. The house of consciousness is going out crazy, bro. They crazy, bro.
See, clowns tried to be like, that's a diss to Sinetta. How the hell could that be a diss to Sinetta when you say somebody 100? Do y'all even know black lingo? That's craziness. But yeah, we chilling. The way we like to set it off. The way we like to set it off. Shout out to all my new subscribers. Goddamn. I guess I do need to get into little fake controversies and shit, huh? Because that shit is what y'all want to see. So y'all let Jean-Charles Decker, the Jewish Haitian man, gaslight y'all. Y'all let him gaslight y'all about the restraining order. Niggas don't know the law. See, this the problem. I'm an African American. Might sound like a nigga sometimes. I ain't no nigga though. You ain't never tripped off that? See, that's the problem. Y'all be fooled by how I sound. Y'all might just think I'm an average ass nigga. Fuck around, think you could get into a YouTube fight with me. They don't know why they be catching illustrations. So I'm going to teach a little bit on how to always knock down these trolls. It's easy, bro. It's too much information. I will have your whole genealogy. I'll tell you your great-great-great-grandfather right now, nigga. Bruh, I'll run you through every app. See, I'm not like that. I'm not like these other dudes. I learned from white people. Okay? They been figured you niggas out. The biggest, baddest, toughest one. Bah! It's nothing. Got him. Y'all mad at that? Well, you ain't living in America. These dudes is so funny. So I just want to ask anybody, did Shaka show a restraining order? Did Doodoo, Jean-Charles, did he show a restraining order? Yes or no? So you got to realize when people is clickbaiting you. You see how easy this shit is? I be looking at the screen like, damn, cats is dumb. You got to realize when cats is clickbaiting you. But one thing y'all don't realize about this propaganda machine we're in this little simulated reality, is information is and data is everything. Information and data is everything. And so if you in cyberspace and you're not apt at picking up data, then you're tripping. But why nobody sued Brother Polite for scamming? You know, I think they was trying to put a case together for that. I think they was actually. You know how the feds work, Eric B. Come on now, the feds don't work in a year. The feds don't even work in 3 years. They'll let you. When they coming, it's over. So they probably was just letting him, just watching the Instagram, laughing. But if you go back and look on the internet, you'll see it was a lawyer. It was a black lawyer who was turning over all this scam information about Brother Polite. So I want to ask anybody, did anybody see a restraining order last night? Yes or no? If you say no, you don't have to say no because I know you didn't see one. So now I'm just showing you how to realize when you've been gaslighted and you can't take your view back. Cats will be on there like, even if you don't like me, click like. If you don't like me, get the fuck up out of here. The fuck? If you don't like me, get the fuck up out of here. Do not click like if you don't like me. What kind of shit is that? That's how you know Cats is on some YouTube shit. Yeah, it was a lady lawyer. I probably could pull her up. Somebody gonna mention her name. That lady lawyer. I could show you the restraining order now, but it might have too much information on it. So y'all don't even know the law. So here's the thing. I just want to help y'all out. First, collect data. Collect data. When cats be leaking, collect data. You get their name, you got all their info. Go on and run them through genealogy.com, ancestry.com. Why not? Get the data. It's information. But really, I just want to show you a bunch of lies people been telling. For just to show you the character of people. Not even like I'm tripping. But it's just like, if you could see that when somebody lying, I want to see how y'all react. When y'all know for a fact that you could tell somebody lying. Shaka said I gave out his address. He said he bought a hoodie from me, right? And that's how he got my address. He's lying on the internet and just slandering for no reason. So look, I'm inside of my Streamlabs. I'm going to click my merch store. Let's see. Yeah, you could get a merch store right in your Streamlabs. So let me show you something. I wanted to look at, let's see if you can even, I don't even like, okay, here we go. Not balance. I'm looking for sales or whatever. I probably should be. Just so I can show you how silly this should be. Maybe, all right, let me see. Paid orders. Now look at this. They don't give out people information. Look. Shotgun to do Kemet, $13. So that's one lie right there. You can see it in your face. Do I got anybody? Where is somebody's address at? I don't send out this merchandise. So if you can see that that's a pure lie in your face, I need some cooperation. Fuck that. Can you see that that's a straight bald-faced lie? What does this say right here? Shaka Doodoo Kemet. Pole-faced lying in this motherfucker. So that's why controversy ain't bad if you're going to win it. Can't nobody really say shit. No matter how much you want to hate, you got to be like, damn, that nigga lying. Lying on Smash. Can y'all see that or not? Let me know in the chat. Fuck that. We gonna stay on this shit. Because cats be letting motherfuckers just be in another country, try to infiltrate what you doing in your country through the internet like a Russian fucking bot, yo. And cause dissension in the black conscious community in America. That's my objective and goal. So y'all can't see that, so I guess we can't go forward. Y'all need to let me know y'all see that shit. And he a lying motherfucker. Oh, guess we got to stay. Okay, I see some eyes. Eyes must mean y'all see it. Okay, thank you. So we know that's lie number one. Now, remember his video says he was asking everybody to click like so he could show you a restraining order. Did he show you a restraining order? Yes or no? Or did he show you a YouTube complaint with the words restraining order in it? Huh? Cats be fake, bruh. This should be hella easy. Now look how stupid this dude is. Let me show you how stupid he is. You think you under, bruh? I got people. Show me something. Look how dumb this dude is. Let's go to YouTube. Go to Doodoo page. Click Doodoo page. See, when you a beggar, you be forgetting how you beg. What that say right there? Damn, this shit easy. I hand out body bags all over the place. If this was a court of law, cats would be looking stupid in front of a jury. What that say right there? Somebody read that out. Did that shit in 2 clicks. This motherfucker been hiding his name for 15 years. My man finds the shit in 2 clicks. Two clicks. Who doxed who? Y'all be silly. Huh? Oh, that is how they got it. Oh, I lied on Smash. Fuck that. We need some reactions. Do y'all see that? Yes or no? Because I got people that I don't even know lying on me on the internet. Lying ass dude, bro. See how easy that was? 2 clicks. Oh, boy. It ain't, you know, so I just want to just show y'all how crazy people be. All because, now he targeted me because he thought Nubians was a real thing. Then I seen Neb talking shit on his motherfucking page. Where you at? Hop your ass up out the motherfucking bushes with your fucking 2 views. Dumbass nigga. Fuck you hop on this nigga page talking shit about me for. Come your ass out the bushes. Y'all motherfuckers be crazy. So y'all telling me y'all own a person page. Smash, if you buy a shirt from him, he will give up your information. That's slander. Complete slander. Caught on tape. Now, is that slander or not? You better go erase that shit. Biash. What's up, Biash? I be listening like, God damn, bro. Just talk some French slang. You sound stupid than a motherfucker with your fake American slang. So, how much should we send him right now? This dude is retarded. Telling people, I bought something from Smash and he gave up my address. Do not buy anything from him. He will give up your address. Stupid ass shit. Two clicks. So then you take the Jean-Charles Decker. You know you dealing with, you know where the boy from. Pop that in that next app. Get that popping, depending on how much you want to put on it. You get all the information you want. I'm Jonathan Owens. See? Ain't hiding behind shit. So that's lie number 3. Or 2 or 3. But we could keep going. But that's lie number 3. Lie number 2, you doxed yourself. So stop lying to people. Shit. For views and shit. Didn't show nobody no damn restraining order. So now I'm going to teach y'all some game, how to get a cat page taken down. Because cats be out here leaking. They don't read. All you read is the what? You got to read the documentation on these websites too. Yeah, Charles Decker is kind of mentally sick. All kind of audio of you beating up ladies and shit. Play me the audio of me snatching some lady phone. Play that shit. So now he lying, right? And then I heard, I was watching your video and I seen you erasing messages, bro. I seen somebody asking, was this the same Jean-Charles Decker with the domestic case in Paris? And you erased it before I could screenshot it. Lucky you. But they gonna get to all that, so we ain't even tripping. But just know you doxed yourself. This says PayPal mod forever. Stop lying on people. Okay? And I showed everybody, this merchandise store don't show addresses. Okay? Do we see any addresses? Huh? So, no names. It say Shotgun Negu Kemet. So please just stop lying on fam, because fam will tear you apart, bro. Apart. You'll go down to that little restaurant up under that little thing you live in. You'll go down to that little restaurant, try to walk around the corner to that school. You'll go down to that little restaurant, and then you'll try to walk around the corner to that school. Bah! Oh, it'll be ugly. So cut it out, fam, bam. Stop lying. Golly. Yeah, I ain't got nothing else to say about you. You didn't sell nobody no damn nothing. You just wanted some views. Y'all, I got a game about to happen in a minute, too. I ain't tripping, though. But these dudes, and then it's the same dude who keeps saying, let's put him back up there. He says I was talking about.
Black people are very weak. They're getting weaker by the day.
Oh, I wasn't talking about American black people. I was talking about all black people. And then I seen y'all on there really rationalizing Suge's pedophilia. That's why I can't fuck with niggas, bro. Y'all was like, he was 19, she was 14. Huh? What you say? Oh, she was 14. He was 19. Not a big deal. What? Y'all is out here ancient. It is not a big deal. That's what y'all say about Uncle Sug, huh? Wow. So this shit is really faked in the motherfucker then. See, here's the thing about that. Because I understand what people are saying. Those numbers aren't far apart. But we're thinking, I'm 48 right now. So that's the point of view I'm speaking from. Speak from the point of view when you were 17. And you see some 19-year-old going to hook up with a 14-year-old. You tripping. But that's neither here nor there. Just know you doxed yourself. Okay? So stop lying on Smash. And you ain't show no damn restraining order, but I show it. So now people be asking silly questions because they don't know how to get a clown down and keep a strike up. Make them have to take down their pages for like 3 months in order not to get the third strike that they know is imminent. See, what you really need to be doing right now is cleaning all your pages of my content that you've been putting up over the years. If you know how to play the game, you know how to play the game, right? See, y'all on some bullshit, see? Don't drag me into that nigga shit. I know the rules. I don't follow no fucking fake shit that niggas break every soon as you buy it. Hell no. Y'all dumb than a motherfucker. Getting tricked into rules that don't even apply to society. Fuck that stupid shit. And then a fake clown like this acting like they play by that. Cut it out. I ain't going there. But anyway, you doxed yourself. You need to be like, oh, I lied on Smash. You ain't gonna do that video though. Is you? So that's what that is. These motherfuckers be hella stupid. I'm looking at the chat. Imagine being at a concert full of people trying to get the attention of your favorite artist on stage and your voice just get lost in the crowd, but you keep yelling louder and louder. That's a good analogy. I just wish I knew what it applied to. You know? Yeah. So really, lumping me in the group of people that you thought you was about to go at because you lost to Tazariak, a foolish plan. But lumping me in the group of people that you thought you was gonna be getting at, just let that go, bro. I'm cool. Stop lying on me. Jean Charles. There you have it. Let me turn this off. And open this up. Listen to me some slap real quick while I open this up. Lying ass, man. What kind of shit that be? Oh, so by the way, when you hit somebody with a copyright strike, they can try to appeal it. So if you haven't been through the process, what the people on the other side of the appeal don't know is if YouTube sees that you take legal action, you've taken legal action, all they need to see is an action. That's all they require. That's what y'all got to learn how to read. And so taking the action will be enough to have them review whether or not they're going to leave somebody copyright strike up. If you ain't willing or don't know how to take a legal action, then you might find that as a hurdle to hop. But if you do know how to take a legal action, and this fool didn't even know what writ of possession was. He was like, I think he meant to say right of possession. Man, yo, we need to learn more law. Because this is our rights. All right? Do that say right or writ? I mean, just this shit is just crazy. The stuff that people is teaching, when you talk, you let me know what you have not read. A writ of possession. See, here's the thing that idiots don't know when they get on YouTube and they try to start battles. Everybody on YouTube, no matter where you live, you've signed a document to surrender to the courts of the jurisdiction of YouTube, which is down the street from my house. So you done messed up, huh? Matter of fact, let me open the email and show your dumb ass where you surrendered to the jurisdiction of the courts of California. You don't know Smash? I get it in, bro. That's easy for me. Courts of California, I know clerks. Help me out with this paperwork. Let me see. Gmail. Retardo people is crazy. Not knowing that they surrendered to the, so now I just got to go down the street. You got to fly to Cali. You see how that works. Cats be tripping. Let me show you. Where YouTube at, man? Maybe I'm in the wrong. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna just go to a different email. Excuse me. Hold up. Home. The part where you were saying blah, 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 blah is the part you should have been reading. Never say blah, 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 blah when you're reading contracts, bro. So let's see. See if I can find this email. Well, just know that to be on YouTube's platform, and then you surrender to the jurisdiction of California courts. So you cannot show up, and you could be from Europe and not show up. Go ahead. It won't be relevant to your life no place but on YouTube. I'm looking for this. So bear with me. Here go another thing. If you get into it with a dodo bird, I ain't even gonna tell you that. That's just more game. But I got some information to leave off the screen. And here we'll go over here. Let me see. Well, I hope all this stuff don't pop up because I don't want certain information to pop up. So it says, I consent to the jurisdiction of the Federal District Court for the district in which my address is located. Or if my address is outside of the United States, the jurisdiction in which YouTube is located, and will accept service of process for the claimant. What do we have here? That's how you beat up a bozo who think they hiding over the oceans. When YouTube down the street, you could go walk up in YouTube and holler at some people, make some friends, and point out this account that's hating. If you really want to, you probably just be sitting in the lobby. Oh yeah, it wasn't showing because it was from an email that had more sensitive information in it. And I don't want to show that information. I consent to the jurisdiction of the federal courts for the district in which my address is located. Or if my address is outside of the U.S., how about this? I'll just copy this sentence and put it into Google and you're going to see what it show you. See, we learning over here. San Bruno, man, you go ride down there, be there in an hour. Requirements for copyright counter notifications. You got to consent. Gotti, karate Gotti, bro. Show me how you could be, how you gonna gas like this? And I let them know you submitted false information, by the way. You submitted false information. Shakan Digu Kemet ain't your name. And they know that. So see what they do. But let's read here what you agreed to. All right. I consent to the jurisdiction of the federal district court for the district in which my address is located. If my address is outside the United States, the judicial district in which YouTube is located. Y'all ain't know that? That's how you knock them down. Okay? So now how this works? When they get a counter notification, YouTube asks you to see legal action. And so there are legal actions you could take in this instance. So y'all, since we don't know the law, we think restraining orders apply only to hands and feet, huh? Nah, man. You could get a restraining order to restrain somebody from doing something. You see? And a writ of possession to take something from somebody. People don't know this. So I ain't the one to be teaching this, but the minimal stuff I know I at least could share to y'all. And it ain't a right of possession. Golly. Not hard to file wherever you at. What does it say? The state or court order to the sheriff to take or hold property that a plaintiff claims is theirs, but the defendant is wrongly keeping. That also works with intellectual property. We just got to understand and know the law. But if we're going to do our nigga shit and we're going to be like, oh, when I see him, it's on, then none of this applies to you. All right? So you get your writ of possession. So easy. California government. Bow, don't be scared. Since they got to surrender to the jurisdiction of Cali, you make them get tickets. Make them get them tickets. All right? So now you got your writ of possession. Okay? Come on. It's not hard. You fill out your info. Whoop-de-whoop, bow. Print your form, do what you got to do, get it ready, take it down to the courts, pay your little bread. It's nothing but a button. After you got your writ of possession, what you want? This is to stop any of these clowns. See, cats be like, how to get them to stop? Man, come on, how to get them to stop? How Fat Joe get Hassan Campbell shithole took down? These the parts. Now you can learn how to fill this out quick. Then you want what? California. Well, since it's YouTube, and they surrender to the jurisdiction in YouTube, unless, of course, they live in the U.S. California, what? See? That's why y'all fall back hella quick, huh? Damn, y'all be tripping. California restraining order. Let me see. Now, you could be like, I need to stop him from putting the keys in this car. Restraining order ain't just about hands and feet. Y'all just little kids. Civil harassment. Now, again, YouTube ain't judges or litigators. So guess all they want is the action. Remember that. And the action is filing. So that's simple. So don't let nobody be acting like they, please, bro. Them little fake ass headgear MMA fights you had. Nigga got headgears talking about it was the world championships in a headgear fight. Grown man in a headgear fight. Get the fuck out of here. I ain't gonna talk no tough shit now. Just know you clown. You're a clown. Fucking headgear fights, lying about being the MMA champion. You lost. You wasn't a champion. Anyway, that's that. So I ain't gonna respond to everybody who lie on me. It ain't worth it, you know what I'm saying? But that's just what that was. Oh, did I ever share the Zoom link? No, I never shared the link. Doxed yourself talking about, thought you was hiding. Lying on me. What photo? I don't even think the Kush, just because you got embarrassed because you thought Nubia was a real thing, I don't think that was enough for you to go off on a limb like you did. Like, that's how I know you crazy. Because I still be like, what this fool talking about me for? But let me go to my channel. Shout out to y'all. See 79 people in the building. Like the video, subscribe, maybe. Sometimes I come back and then do the knowledge. Because I like to talk about what I'm talking about live. But I don't like to add like gossipy content to my collection of content. So I don't mind us chilling and listening live, but sometimes when it's just not really useful for maybe a year or so in the future, I'll be taking the videos down. I have no problem with that. Because, you know, sometimes you got to be watching it and getting it while we getting it. But if I feel like it's some jewels that need to be left up for the people, then I may. But more often I most often just take them down. But I just shared the link. Anybody got something to say? Pop it on YouTube talking crazy about motherfuckers who been really holding you down since they knew you. You crazy than the motherfucker. Especially Ned or Ned. I don't know what the fuck your problem is. These motherfuckers be stupid. I heard this motherfucker actually talking about, I mean, you know where I'm from. Pseudo-linguists and pedophiles. I said, huh? Where the fuck is you from? To where you put pseudo-linguists and pedophiles in the same fucking sentence. That's the stupidest shit I ever heard. I don't even listen to some people. Who the fuck put those words in the same sentence? What a pseudo-linguist has done is equal to what a pedophile has done? Yeah, nigga, just stay in the bushes. Like I got on anybody's page just talking shit about somebody. That I ain't, you know, maybe if me and you had an interaction that's different. But just pick one of y'all that we ain't got no nothing. We just be chilling. Like, you know, Mizriak or Afro-Asiatic, anybody in the chat. Then you just go on to YouTube and just hear me cutting you up and shit. Oh, smash this, smash that. Huh? The fuck? That shit be hella stupid. All of these motherfuckers be people that I've been trying to help over the years and shit. Through the internet. That's why that shit crazy. Hit the link before I start playing music. Hit the link before I start playing music. I don't know. This one of them ones. Ain't gonna be like, you should have put that on the album, boy. I spend my time letting my mind find divine rhymes. The blind trying to fly, but it's a fine line. Lift the curtain, ain't nobody behind mine. I had the biggest West Coast battle before grind time. Fine wine with 9 dimes. You all trying to get that D on like prime time. I might pull out that stick like I'm blind. Armor on the mic, I shine mine. Calm on the mic, I might harm him with the armor light. This night's ornament, the ornament is on him like an Egyptian amulet worn by the pharaoh. When the king was naked, I wore my apparel like wide. I got more by the barrel. Bow and arrow, drive by out the Camaro. I got the juice, Robert Shapiro. I'm from the deuce, got my dinero. I slipped about a loose noose to hit it like Bruce. Mediterranean dang, feed me couscous. You ready to rap, then I'm ready to train you then. Either I'ma fill up your brains or bang them in. A black man, that's the only gang I'm in. Hip hop hype that I'm doing my thing again. It seems like the game gon' change again. Niggas still know I'm 100 Chamberlain. Still wave at my friends when I ride past, but you can get robbed in the M95 mask. You like that label and sign me with your jive ass. We still play with models, no die cast. Be at the pearly gates, early wait. Worldly state, eating like Shirley ate. What's happening? Much rapping, trunk slapping, punks capping on this track. Hey, hit the link. Hit the link.
I'm like Dominique. Shit, top 5, I'm a nominee. Niggas try to rhyme with me, that's comedy. And with these hands, I get a little scrappy. Mama D. Bars like the red light district won't aim at your head, might miss it. And it's ironic, cause for the bread I got a biscuit, and to get ahead I gotta risk it. But I got mad skills as much as anybody that you fucking heard of. Steal from me, you could get your uncle murdered. Ain't that your daddy, brother? Well, I'll put his caddy up on your corner with the Maddie sitting caddy corner. Nigga had to run cause he ain't had it on him. Pull up with the tattoo gun and tatted on him. Turfed up like the work truck, the ladders on him. Tell them battle rappers my computer hackers got data on them. And that I warn them, I just say I'm casual when you ain't gotta warn them. I'ma keep putting rhymes on the gram till you silly motherfuckers realize who I am. It's casual, the rap guy. I've been the illest for real. I know somebody told me. But them days is over. Right now we putting it in your face. Put it in their face.
Yeah. So look. Tell me this then. Why some people is on YouTube with the goal of trying to make people like me look bad? When I could show you and then they shit fizzle out by the next morning. You didn't realize you got gaslighted because nobody showed you a restraining order. I said I could show you it. Let me see. He ain't show you that shit. I got that shit. So he should really know it's real over here. Like it's not little. I'm an American. You feel me? I use all this shit. Y'all got shit y'all won't use in America. I feel sorry for cats who feel that way. You making yourself be a third-class citizen. You feel me? You walk in Walmart or you walk in the Mexican restaurant and slip and yo, I'm cool. Just messed up my J's. Don't really know what to do. I'm just having fun though. But I mean, you know, I was disappointed in Net and Ned for coming on a slanderer page and talking about me. I'm like, what, bro? This shit's retarded. Dang, man. Ain't nobody hit the link. I'm going to just keep talking. All right, man. It's 8, so my game's starting in a minute. I think if I don't win this game today, man, I'm letting my team down. We on the losing streak. We done lost about 3 or 4 games, but I ain't been tripping. I've been doing my other stuff. Somebody hit the link because I'm just kicking back. We're going to do the knowledge and the matter of fact. I seen Wu Nem popped out promoting that new TLA after Chef told me. Shout out to the Seshu. See, y'all need to know how diplomatic I am. You need to pop back out on my page so that you could then, you feel me, then be all the way back in the door. Y'all ain't popping out talking about no repairing shit. We know that for sure. So y'all all good. You feel me? We don't beat dead dogs. Set Imhotep in the building. You can hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. How you doing?
I'm well. I wasn't gonna join you because you said you didn't want mixing knowledge with the gossip kind of stuff.
Oh no, I'm doing whatever. It's all good.
Yeah, well, we still have that Stella to finish, so I don't know.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we could get it in.
Yeah.
I mean, why not? What's up with that good guy?
Here for support, at work.
Appreciate it. Why cats want to make a living off lying on people on the internet, bro?
Consciousness community is crazy, bro. Like your song, I'm telling you.
Yeah, they crazy, bro.
For real,
stuff, bro. You have the clothes, you have the info. If a man could knock you down a peg, it's supposed to mean he better than you, I suppose.
Yeah, it's like you said. That was no reason for him to come at you because he was wrong about some information.
Yeah, but I think on that subject about, our last two, it really started with me laughing at the Tazaria debate when he flopped. Because he caught feelings after that. You feel me? Yeah, I rock with the Riparians too, but I'm saying on their re-entry, Mr. Metro, we're going to lose all names like that. And we're not about to make them feel no kind of way because they lost that battle. You see what I'm saying? I'm not like Michael Venom Page, bro. Like, once they lost, they lost. I don't need to be like, what are those?
Yeah.
What's up with, okay, we got somebody new in the building. Ansa, what's up? I say your name right?
Yep, peace, God.
Peace, how are you?
I'm good, and you, brother?
It's all good, can't complain.
Thanks for having me, brother.
Oh, it's all good. What's up? What you wanna add?
I'm just politicking, brody. I'm just coming in here.
Yeah.
See in the chat, you know what I mean? I'll be busy, bro, but I'm on this joint just to hear your demonstration, man. I always do.
Oh, I appreciate that. Yeah, where you tapping in from? Oh, your mic went on mute. Oh, okay. Well, I think you might be out. Yeah. That's cool. All right, yeah, you gonna share that screen set, Imhotep? I ain't really. Well, probably not
Oh
yet though.
yeah, I
It might
wasn't.
be early though. Let's wait a minute, cause
Yeah, I was saying I wasn't trying to interrupt the
yeah.
conversations. You know.
Yeah, so it was when Tazaria put hands on bruh, then dude just caught feelings. But I ain't tripping off, dude. I just wanted to show that how he was lying on me last night.
No, but I feel like even if you're an MMA fighter, right? When you lose a fight, you're supposed to go back and watch your tape and figure out what you did wrong with that person. At least if you're trying to be professional or whatever, right? So how it is, Shaka? I mean, I don't want to beef with him. I don't know that guy, you know. But how he could watch that debate with Zariak and not know to himself that he lost that debate. You know, I watched that show that you did reacting to Shaq and Dudu comments or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was bad. He did really badly. Captain Zariak beat him from pillar to post. And I don't feel like it's unfair of one of your peers to just say that. It wasn't like he was coming at him and saying, "Oh, he don't know anything." In fact, if I remember correctly, it was more along the lines of, "You're supposed to know much better than this, so why are you performing so poorly?" You know?
Yeah, definitely. And I was, I mean, let's keep it real. I mean, I know you are keeping it real, but I did a reaction video, and someone might not like the way I was reacting, but this is ridiculous. Like now, you just like lying and mentioning me, and with words that my name has never even been in the same sentence with. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, this is crazy.
Yeah, something something off somewhere, you know?
Yeah, but I ain't tripping. I just wanted to show people he was lying, so he could go stop telling people that I doxed him because he bought a hoodie of mine, and so don't buy my clothes. But anyway,
I don't think anybody who would be in this stream really taking on anything they're saying in that.
yeah, I know. I just wanted to do that for his because I got a lot of his new subscribers. Is what he don't know, I guess. I got a lot of, I mean, my page was just all like controversy. I guess it worked, but that ain't what I'm into really. I normally just try to kick it and kick back. And cats be coming at you. I don't know why they do it. I guess.
Smash. My bad to cut you off, but to talk about the Kemet and the blackity black stuff. Do you think it's weird that Ngozi and them agree with Chief X?
I don't know. I don't think it's weird, but I don't know. I mean, I think all of their stance is weird, but I don't think it's weird that they agree. Like, if somebody agree and that's not, you can't pick who you agree with. Like, you know what I'm saying? Why you say that?
Because where Chief X be coming from, his stance be so out of bounds. I don't know how they could still agree with that and them be some sound-minded people. You'll think they are.
Yeah. Well, I don't know what they own. They too far into their mission. I couldn't even watch because this is the thing. Chief X just did a video talking about debunking Smash Rockwell's claim about the Colchians. And I'm like, huh? I ain't made no claim about the Colchians. I showed you what Herodotus said. And so in that instance, you're not debunking me. You trying to go find any scholar that did some work to try to debunk Herodotus. And that little loop, that's not educational. Like, if you looked over all the material already, you wouldn't be doing a back. This dude I would never debate nobody who called Herodotus Herodotus, dude. Because Herodotus, that means you never dialogued on the subject ever with nobody. Like, so that should be crazy.
They never listen to a lecture, they never anything, you know?
Yeah, Herodotus didn't do this. I'm like, huh? So YouTube be giving people certain prerogative that you wouldn't look to them for that in real life. Like, you trying to tell me you about to go into the world and find Chief X to get some knowledge?
That's what I'm saying. It's like, how did these group of people end up agreeing with each other?
Like, come on, man. You gonna walk out your house and say, I need some knowledge, and you're gonna find somebody like Chief X. But you're gonna do that on YouTube. Cut it out. Cut it out. But Chief X ain't in the same, like, he in a different category. He not like Shaka now. He just wrong than a motherfucker. He might, you know what I'm saying?
Well, when we contemplating that, like Ngozi saying the same thing as Chief X, what exactly are they saying the same? The Chief X's seem to be jumping out the window with some weird claims.
But he's not
But then,
saying the same as Chief X, though.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's what, but that good guy had, brought us now. And I don't really
There's
know.
been shows when Ngozi, especially they say, Ngozi would say, a Chief X, yeah, that's why y'all don't like allow Chief X on the show. He did say that.
Oh no! From listening to what Brother Ngozi's be saying, is to me is really just sound like But I think he said before that his lineage is Fulani and that kind of stuff. So I think he feels very special, being one of them
Yeah, but that's
Africans.
I ain't going there. I remember him mentioning that too, but all right, let's talk about something else. Because we about to start talking about people and their personal shit. Then I'm not on that like that.
No, I didn't really mean it like that. I just meant like he wasn't. Well, anyway, when I say I don't want to talk.
Yeah, I feel you.
I'm only talking about the information.
Yeah.
Chief X, he has his own lane, his own way of thinking about the people from what is, I can't even say the word right now. Mediterranean area. The people from the Mediterranean area. We keep saying that.
Let's say Chief X was my cousin. Let's say Chief X was your cousin at the barbecue family reunion. You picked up your plate and you walked over there and you heard, the Egyptians ain't black. You trying to tell me you standing there at the reunion? You feel me? Yeah, you walking right the fuck off. Like, man, I ain't talking to cousin Xavier. That dude over there tripping. So if I'm not gonna do it to myself on YouTube, if I wouldn't do it in real life.
Yeah. Now, to be fair though, especially like people like us who not as well, I shouldn't say like us, people like myself who not as deep in the scholarship as somebody like you, we would encounter a lot of people propagandizing just in the wild. So it's be good to have you debunking some of those claims from time to time, though, because it gives us, as I say, people like me, easier access to some of these scholars. Because I go and look up, like every video that you've shown on this show since I started watching you, I've gone on after the show and watched it for myself. So just so that I could get familiar with some of the information now. So it's be useful when you do some of that debunking, man.
Well, I appreciate that. Nah, the learning is what make the channel grow. I don't be on here with hella controversial shows and shit. That's what cats really need to see. The difference is that it be some jewels on this show. Cats think they gonna grow off just gossiping all day. That shit ain't gonna work.
Hey, Smash.
What's up with it?
Hey, if you don't mind talking about it just briefly, I missed it. You said Ned went on the Shaka, the Shaka Cat channel and was saying something.
Yeah, he let me down. I thought that was my man's. He got on there talking about how I don't know. He just started saying hella shit. I ain't tripping, but I just had to say my part. Shit.
For sure.
Oh, yeah.
No, go ahead.
Now you go. I'm gonna look for a document to talk to Smash about.
What happened?
I was gonna say that I thought Metal Ned was a part of the team, yo.
I mean, when he was and he wasn't, we always maintained a cool relationship. But he said something about I disrespected him. I'm like, what, man? You ain't never said nothing to me about that. You just come on somebody's page who's slandering me, and you talk, and then you get into a fight with somebody from your city in the next 5 minutes. So that's that childish shit I ain't trying to deal with.
And then, you know what I'm saying, that the Shaka dude, Why would you go on his page when you already see what he's done already? You know, he coming in, y'all guys was cute and saying was cool with him at first when he came to the community, and now it seems like he's trying to go after everybody on some sucker shit. You know what I'm saying? A
Yeah,
lot of these dudes, man, be suckers in real life and be trying to get on YouTube and trying to change it up a little bit, but it all comes back to they just a sucker, yo.
yeah, that shit was crazy. I wish I could have been out of it, but who cares? It's just YouTube bullshit. I don't be tripping. But yeah, and after that Tazaria shit, it was the a little thing about the hike sauce. I guess people don't want to give up the things that they've been maintaining over the years. You feel me? Like, oh, the hike sauce is still the people. Okay, cool.
I feel like you kind of betray your intellectual dishonesty when you come up with something like that. Because like,
Yeah,
proof
are
that
you?
Pixels wasn't no people is kind of like irrefutable now. So why would you ever maintain that? You know?
Because it was what was learned in previous years. You know,
Yeah, but I
so
feel like our elder scholars who would have brought us information like that, if they had the information we have now, they would definitely change. They would probably write a new edition to their books or something to change the information. That they ain't going to stay with that shit. You know?
mm-hmm,
Like why you?
mm-hmm.
Also, actually, this is something I was thinking about listening to one of your shows the other day. I can't speak to anybody individually, but I wonder if a lot of people, either in the audience or people who come on the panels, because they've never gone through tertiary education and they're not accustomed to having to cite to give the references at the end of their assignments and that kind of stuff. They get very comfortable. They're very willing to accept people saying things that sound good without presenting where they got the information from, because they haven't gotten accustomed to having to do that themselves now. So that like maybe brothers like yourself, brother Ank, who went and did the biology certification, aside from what other certification you might have, brother Reggie, obviously, who's a degree um scholar, you all would be very familiar with the necessity for showing references and citations and stuff. But a lot of people, like, I know it's easy for them to just accept whatever the sophists are saying because they don't know any better. What do you think about that?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Obi-Wan Kenobi. Did I say Kush is not in Nubia? That is another thing that people need to understand. So, of the two terms that you wrote on the screen, one of them is ancient and another one is not. So let's start with that, Obi-Wan. Which of the terms out of Kush and Nubia, which of those was used starting in the 12th dynasty, and which of them started with the Greeks? So if we analyze it starting from that perspective, what's up with Bobby Banger? If we analyze it coming from that perspective, Obi-Wan, you'll start to see what we learn. And then if we start to think about how the borders of Kush moved over the years, we'll start to understand that Nubia was just, by all definitions, a region of gold. And there was no real polity of people called Nubians. That's just made up by the Egyptologists in order to separate the southern black people out of Egypt. But what's up with Brother Bobby?
Yeah, what's going on, man? How you doing, bro?
It's all good.
I wish you would have this morning show more often. I could definitely be here.
Man, I'll be only sometimes I'll be missing days when I do other things.
Don't miss no days.
I know, right?
Let's rotate the morning show. Let's have morning show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I see the brother on. Hey, man. And good morning to the panel. I think it was the God. Is that it? That good guy?
Mm-hmm.
Where you at?
Peace
Where you
to
at?
you. Peace to you, brother. Peace to you.
All right. So I know where y'all at. I heard y'all kind of talking about, where everybody is in the conversation. I think it's just, we should just note though, right, that outside of, a person saying something on a video, right, you can actually get written documentations from museums that'll tell you who they think different people are in the world. And so, in actuality, we debate a subject that is the picture after about since Egyptology started, it's become crystal clear. One of those items was that they just decided to make the what they call the sub-Saharan African term, which is actually a very, very recent term. You can put it in, I forget the name of the thing, and it'll show you that that's a recent term they started. It's like a geopolitical type of item. So, the Sudan can move from Northeast Africa to Sub-Saharan Africa in a snap of the finger, right? And I think the audience should just kind of, so fix that in your head. So when people is out arguing for North Africa, right? You routinely hear me say, let's just deal with geography. That way there is no mistake. And based off geography, Egypt is fixed in, quote unquote, Northeast Africa. And I put the emphasis on it because there's a different play here. There's different, you got Eritrea, you got Ethiopia, all these people, the Red Sea, you got all these people coming to the Nile. And I'm going to end it with this, right? We act like the Nile River, that is the largest river on planet Earth. Now let that sink in, right? We act like somebody in ancient times, some giant, somebody built a damn fence on both sides, right? And the fence was open at both ends, open at the end of the 4,100 miles and open at the deltas. And anywhere in between, nobody couldn't get to that area. That's wild. That is actually wild. We have the scientific research, we have the articles to show what pieces of the culture came and where they came from. It's not even hard no more. So I'm not sure if people are just playing or not, or they just need the conversation to happen and run all the stop signs that has been dealt with before. Like it'll take anybody that's serious, just take your ass to a museum and ask the curator. That's something we do all the time. I'm Ross Squad that been to the Penn Museum and we just ask them and they be surprised. Y'all read about it, man. Right? And we have discourse. Y'all can see videos where we have discourse with the anthropology about the human evolution skulls. Right? And they clearly say humans are primates or apes, whatever floats your boat. So I'm just saying, the conversation denigrates to people start talking about your business. People start putting you with pedophilia and all that because they really scamming. That's what I want to say.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to end it right there. They have to be that. I'm done.
No, he's scamming for real. But yeah, I mean, and that ain't nothing other people really do. I never seen those type of behaviors like in America. Like somebody don't just take your name and associate you with something through like YouTube. But I'm done with dude. So what you were saying about the dudes who was the dudes who keep on running the stoplights. I don't know why. Yeah, I don't know why they do it, but I just want to go back to this old literature called Now Notes for Travel to accentuate some things you just said. And in this documentation, they can see where Elephantine is right here, and they see the modern borders of Egypt. Now, if we understand this bend right here on the Nile, we'll understand that this is where, this is where they got the Nakata extractions. Nakata is like the first group of Egyptians, basically. And down, maybe down here, if I'm not mistaken, I might have went down too far. But we would have the first knowns, basically the known where the Nubians come. So you see how far up Elephantine is. And as we read the Egyptian Sudan, I want people to note it don't say the Sudan. It says the Egyptian Sudan. So what does the Sudan mean? It means the land of the blacks. So we don't even have to deal with Kemet because back in the day, they even knew that part of the Sudan was in Egypt. But see, y'all thinking about colonial borders, so that wouldn't make sense to nobody. How is part of the Sudan in Egypt? It is because Sudan meant land of the blacks. And so he's going to break it down right here in Antiquated in an old book called Now Notes for Travel by E.A. Wallace Budge, where he says, the Egyptian Sudan, ancient history of the Sudan. The Sudan are country of the blacks in the earliest dynastic times began at Elephantine or Aswan. So just like we always say, nah, you tripping. Nubia, what we know as Nubia, which wasn't really a thing, half of that was in Egypt. Going all the way up to about the areas of Elephantine, as he says here. And so now when we talk about Thebes, we're right above this X. And we know throughout history that Thebes was where they went back to. Whenever it got popping up here, you run back to Thebes, right on the border of Egyptian Nubia. Now, again, since we know Nubia just should be referenced as a region of gold and not a people, then we start to understand how you can't really say Kush was in Nubia, because even linguistically, one of those people will speak more, Angela could tell you one of those people would probably speak more of a Nilo-Saharan language, and the other one would probably speak Cushitic, closer to Cushitic. And so that's how we indicate culture another way, but I surrender the floor.
Hey, Smash. Okay. So I know y'all heard me say, to be honest, yo, you stand on the earth, none of y'all can feel it moving. So it's counterintuitive to say the earth is moving. I say, hey, planet so damn big, right? It's counterintuitive to say it's round. You don't see none of that shit. So what I want to tell y'all is, I want y'all to know that when you look at populations of human beings, yo, you actually think that this shit is like they robots, yo. That's not true, yo. Human beings mix all the time, yo. That's why we 99.99 the same. So if you're on a river where y'all share water and supplies, yo, and fight wars and act crazy and wild out and gold, man, you mixing all the time, yo. And I'm gonna blame you, Smash. And I'm gonna blame you because we took a damn course, yo, 7 years ago, dog. That course is no longer there, yo. Where we got a whole fucking awakening, yo. Like I'm sitting here saying, yo, that the people that they call the Nubians, yo, was just as Egyptian as anything. It's just based off of where they, you know, I'm either be in New York, I could be a New Yorker, yo. I could be a Georgian right now. I've been in Georgia for like 15 years. So I could call myself a Georgian, but I come from Baltimore. Right? So if you looked at it 3, 4, 5,000 years later, you would swear, yo, I'm buried in Georgia, I'm a Dynastic. You wouldn't know it. I'm saying that's not how that shit worked. It worked the way it worked. That people decide their ethnicity in their lifetime, and they actually can change their ethnicity. That's and I can't make people understand that, yo. You can take a person from the Levant, yo, they could be a damn Egyptian, yo. They worship Egyptian gods. You can look at the His Coast. These niggas worship Egyptian gods. You say, what? Yeah, it's right there in front of your face. So I just think, yo, the racism, white supremacy, yo, got us all confused, right? But when you get the real homework, you see that there's a reason why people in the Sudan are darker and the people closer to the Delta are lighter, yo. And when I bring it up, Reggie tried to destroy that concept, yo. And I ain't trying to start no shit with Reggie, but it was the reason why the skin map was introduced. So y'all could get out of the wild ass colorism and stop worrying about if a person is light skinned, they not this. If a person is dark skinned, they not that. No one has ever answered this question. This question is, so then what complexion are African Americans?
Yeah. Hey,
wait a minute. Hey. What type of hair do African Americans got? Yep. None of y'all can answer that question, so I'm gonna tap out right there.
The people when you go further north, they would have been they still would have been something like, you know how like Dominicans and Puerto Ricans, you know, we look at it, we can tell they mixture, but you know they got African roots, of course. You know what I'm saying? Would have been like that, you know. Would have been.
Why can't you talk about that? But why can't you say that? Why can't you give the real anthropological study without people thinking you saying they something else? No,
yeah,
there's no way to be, y'all. Once again,
even if you go to Cuba today, right? Because you know the religion, the Egyptians, they still practicing somewhat of a fusion of Nilotic type religion. if you go to Cuba today and you see the people that's practice Santeria, which is Ifa, you know, they come in all type of shapes and colors, and, and they practice an African tradition.
Santeria is not an African tradition. It is a syncretic tradition, and it's heavily influenced by Catholicism, specifically because a lot of the Cubans is
it's not heavily.
It's
infused. You can't say it's heavily because the nucleus of it is Ifa, bro. Like, yeah, it got Catholic overtones, but the nucleus of the culture is Yoruba, bro. Like, come on, man.
So the only reason that I have a perspective at all is because of the Isheshe and Ifa tradition practitioners who I have come in contact with myself seem to have a kind of they look down on the practice in Trinidad too. Our Orisha practices kind of crap here too. But as in they look down on it as being kind of like the white man's Ifa.
I'm not talking about that, bro. I ain't saying this in Cuba. You can find Niger Congo traditions all over the Americas because that's the people that they brought, that was transplanted over here. Even U.S. African Americans who got, you know, somewhat of Ifa, other traditions from Niger Congo traditions.
Bro, I just mean to say that it's not like it's not in and of itself an African tradition, is what I mean to say. It seems, according to the testimony of Africans, Nigerians who practice Isheshe and Ifa, it seems to have been watered down quite a lot by Catholicism. I don't have particular experience with it myself. I'm just saying what I'm recounting what I've been privy to. That's really all it is. I'm not really trying to necessarily come at you or anything, you know.
So, Gullah, how do we actually express to people that there's actual scientific papers that actually produce stop signs, and even you get people that's supposed to be experts running stop sign, like what's the guy named Smash that such and such mentioned? It was the guy had a racial connotation on the work that he was doing, and he tried to reuse that article.
You talking about Razib Khan?
Yeah, we had 100. It's like 119 mummies, Joe. We read the shit like we read no other motherfucking paper, right? And when you get to the coming to the end of the paper said that these grave sites should not be taken as being the whole of history, the whole of Egyptian history. They said its location and the complication of mixing back and forth of the Nubians and Egyptians living together forever, right? You should not take this as being the whole history of 4,000 years in ancient Kemet. And people, you know, I could understand, you know, just the regular general YouTube people running with it who got a damn axe to fucking grind. See, you know you got an axe to grind when the very paper that you read and say, do not use this. And they use a strong word. It's another word they use. Like, it's another word that's not used in everyday use to say, yo, don't do that. And then people do it. That means that you got to axe to grind or you scam it. And for people to bring that up again, everybody that brought that up again, they scam me, yo. And they scam me intellectual real estate. Because Smash, you could put that article up again. We could just read that section, yo. So if the scientist that's doing a scientific paper say, no, don't use that for the whole thing, then why are we using it for the whole thing? And then why would that guy you just mentioned use that like that, yo? What's the game? What's the underlying problem here, yo?
Oh, it gets worse. I'm glad we got Concrete Corey coming in right now, too, because it's exactly who I was about to start talking about. So I think we must be linked somehow mentally, because you was right on my mind. Let me show you. What's up, Corey?
Peace to you, Smash. Peace to the panel and everything.
I was just about to mention how last night I was grocery shopping, and I was so disappointed that y'all let dude, whoever it was, come on the show and say that these Fayum mummies right here that I got on the screen, and confuse it with the indigenous people of the Fayum when I know y'all know way better than that. But since it was suiting y'all argument, y'all just let him ramble on.
But some of them, they saying now that most of, like, of course, the ones you see right now, they mixture, but they saying now that most of the mummies were actually indigenous.
No, they're not saying now. Present that documentation. right now. Pull it up.
It's on that same page you
No,
on.
but I'm about to show you they're not saying that now. Like we could go to each one of the portraits and they're dated.
No, if you look at some of them look indigenous. I ain't talking about that one, but that one probably mixed. But I'm saying go to the Fayum page and go to the portraits. It's gonna say it.
I'm on the Fayum mummies portraits right here. We can look at each portrait. They're dated.
No, just go to Fayum. Just go to Fayum.
Yeah, we actually.
Well, let's look at this first. This one from the 3rd century. So let's throw this one out. Let's go over each one. This one, what they say, well, this one, y'all can see.
Like that one, he looked like he got a little bit indigenous in him. Of course, he might be mixed, but you can still say he got some little bit East African in
But
him.
he labeled as a Roman, and they don't got this, they don't got the date on this one, but we could look it up. They just show when it was found. But they do got the date. They do got the date on a lot of them.
Roman citizens, like Roman don't mean nothing. Like Roman was an empire. He had all type of Romans and different. Like him right there. You can tell he indigenous. He got some indigenous.
But all I'm showing y'all is what I want y'all to see. AD 80 to 100.
Yeah, we pointed that out. Pointed that out to the brother last night. That
I was grocery shopping.
The fact that those portraits, the date on those portraits, wouldn't get them any credibility when it comes to pointing that out to maybe like on this stream here or with Brother Reggie or who have you. Those portraits would be in the Roman period, and that would be the kind of the thing that y'all was pointing out. So that we actually, if you was listening, you would have heard us tell the
I was trying to get into the Zoom, and then I think Chef wasn't looking at the screen, and I was grocery shopping.
I saw you, but you weren't connecting. Okay. It was taking a long time for you to connect, and then somehow you just dropped off. Though.
Yeah, because I just got frustrated. I thought Chef wasn't seeing me. I didn't know.
No, I was trying to tell you to come back because it was saying your audio hadn't connected. It was like for a 5-minute period. It was trying to connect you.
But all of them that have a date so far, like this will say 1st century AD, even though y'all said y'all mentioned it to do, this is AD 30 to 325. I don't see none of these going back into no antiquity, but let's be fair to the statement. This one says Fayum 1st century, but let's be fair to the statement because again, as we should ask ourselves, as I always try to be fair, what is indigenous, yo? Like if somebody was there since 400 BC, they still ain't indigenous, but their people who descend from them could be saying that they are Egyptian, right? Or not? How we feel about that? Like this man has ancestors who probably lived there since the 1st century AD. And if they live there today, are they qualified saying that they Egyptians?
Yeah. Just like I've been living here for 15 years. I'm in Georgia. How you gonna say that? My kids can go to school for free. I get all that. I mean, what you want? What you want me to be? If that's the point, just be the Indians that was here.
No, so I'm with you. So that's why I give the argument some type of credence. Like, okay, yeah, if they was there since that, if that's what y'all calling ancient times. So, but I be saying, but they was the Romans and they was the other people. Again, they all going back to the mid-2nd century. And I will go through the article to look for the point that Gullah said, that they said some of these was indigenous.
What that said, Gullah? What that said, Gullah? I think you showed it to me.
I mean, if he said he's seen it, it's gonna be here somewhere.
Smash. Hey, Smash, just type in Fayum. Go to Fayum. Just type in Fayum, the Fayum page.
Yeah, see that's what I was trying to tell the brother too yesterday. The Fayum portraits are different than the
and so that's what I'm trying to explain too. And thank you for pointing that out, Corey.
Go to the page Fayum.
But you about to lead us to the data that's talking about something else.
See, look at them. Some of them look indigenous.
Hold on, let me go back. Hold on. I think you're seeing a delay. Some of them look indigenous. You saying?
Oh, that one you just showed when you went. I don't know what you had put something on there. But don't go to Fayum mummies. Just go to Fayum.
Yeah, but just so we be clear, they samples was taken from the Fayum mummies.
Yeah, just go to Fayum. Just
But
go
I'm
to the
talking
page
about that
Fayum.
study though. See, we're researching the study, and the study took samples from the Fayum mummies. I'm just putting Fayum, as you can see, so you have to tell me what you want me to lead to. But that study,
Yeah, that wiki is better. Yeah.
yeah, but just keep in mind that the study was taken from the Fayum mummies, not from the older people who existed there since 8500 BC.
So they swapped out with
Nah, they just did that disingenuously, and this is what people said they had a
Go down.
bad sample source for.
Go down to the part where it say Fayum mummies on this page.
Fayum is the source of some famous masks of mummy portraits during the Roman occupation of that
right here.
era. The Egyptians continued their practice of burial there despite the Roman preference for cremation. While under the control of the Roman Empire, Egyptian death masks were painted on wood in a pigment wax special technique called encaustic. The Fayum mummy portraits represent this technique. It says, while previously believed to represent the Greek settlers in Egypt, modern studies conclude that the Fayum portraits instead represent mostly native Egyptians, reflecting the common synthesis of the predominant Egyptian culture and that of elite Greek minority in Egypt, in the city. So, but let me ask what they're saying. I need to know what they're saying completely. Because they're saying previously believed that they represent Greek settlers.
Go back to the Fayum mummy page real quick, and they're gonna tell you the numbers. They're gonna tell you they're gonna tell you it was like 10,000 indigenous Egyptians.
Hold up, I want to look at these sources that they got up here for that real quick to see what they're talking about.
Yeah, and then not only that, but it actually tells you how long these people been in that area. You know, it's been at least 8,000 years. I think some people,
but not 8,000 years of Romans.
No, those people that you're talking about right there.
Not those people. That's the confusion I'm trying to say. So the Romans started occupying this area at one particular point in time.
They said they thought it was Romans or something.
They said they thought it was Greeks.
Or Greeks, yeah, they thought it was Greek, but now they know they was indigenous.
But they say now they say some scholars think that, and I'm trying to click to see where they say that at. So let's look at what they say again. They say modern studies concluded that the Fayum portraits instead mostly represent mostly native Egyptians. So these studies should be right here under 3, 4, and 5. So we should be able to look into that. That's all.
Yeah, that's fine. But what I was talking about, you know, as far as the Fayum being occupied or whatever, they got artifacts that date back to 8,000.
100% correct.
8,000 years, yeah.
So I think.
I don't think it would have been a different, you know, somebody else that was.
No, it definitely was somebody else. The Romans set up in this area. They had when people would form settlements,
already there when they got there.
I know, that's what I'm saying. And so the mummies that we got, all right, so all y'all gotta do is go show the mummy that is not categorized as a Roman. Because as we went through them, we just looked at them, and all of them said AD and shit, nothing indigenous.
What you just read said most of them wasn't.
I know, so we looking to see where they got that from. Right now, this is the article.
Like what Corey's saying is that those ones that, even though they're from the Roman period, they're not like Roman, I guess, genetically or whatever, is what they're trying to say.
Yeah,
they would still be indigenous.
Yeah, I understand that.
So smash. So you agreed to 8,000. Hey Corey, did you say 8,000 years of artifacts in the Fayum?
Yeah, they do got that to 8,500 BC. But if you look at
that same article, the same exact article,
those are. Go ahead.
Whoa. So I want to say, like, what type of artifact? I think Corey, I heard you say one time that mummification comes from Fayum, right?
Some scholars do talk about, and that's in that same article too. The Fayum got some very, very rich history. I mean, if you're interested in Egypt, like the Fayum should be one of the main regions that you're looking at. Like
I don't know about that, but the Fayum,
they got some of the richest history in Egypt.
Y'all overdoing the Fayum. I don't know why you doing that.
Yeah, that's what I'm.
That's fine, man. Y'all can overdo the South, but nobody can mention the Fayum.
No, you definitely can. I just said you overdoing it. It ain't that as significant as you trying to make it. And most of the culture, as noted by Maria Gatto,
I said they had a rich history.
Yeah, no, but I just was saying you was overdoing it. But most of the
let me say this, man.
Go ahead, Aunt.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. Now, I think it's important, man, at this stage, right? So, people overemphasize the Fayum, right? And they also try to leave it out, right? But we know the Fayum was the side that got beat the fuck up and was the side that had to change their homes and all that. Because we could read it in the Brooklyn Museum that the culture
I'd like to see that.
Towards so I would never say that the Fayum didn't have pieces to it. They had those villages. And watch this, those villages were connected to Western Asia. God damn, fella. Damn. Come on, bro. Let me just get it out. I'm at the villages. That's in Western Asia. So you can't deny that people from Western Asia was in the goddamn Fayum because it's right there. But the villages aren't a goddamn staple of the mobile community that's in Africa. All right, I'm done, man.
Yeah, I don't think those people got nothing to do with. I'm sure they share some genetics with Eurasians or whatever. But the people in the Fayum is the people in the Fayum. They don't. They own. They Egyptians. They're not. The Fayum is in Egypt. I mean, it's just a region. It's just a region that has a name within Egypt. I mean, it's not someplace outside of Egypt or nothing like that.
The significance of Fayum is that's the area, that's the main area where the people became sedentary and became sedentary farmers instead of nomadic pastors.
Right, and it took a while because it was a period of time where they were only seasonal in the Fayum. Yeah. I mean, it was in everything I'm saying was already in the source that you pulled up. I've never said anything. I don't even know nothing about the Fayum, so for me to make some shit up, I wouldn't do it, bro.
Hey, this is why they die when they stop at Wiki. Let me read the damn source to show you what they talking about. Hold on, let me get the floor real quick so I can read the source like we often do to show cats that they puzzle. God damn, this should be hella funny. So I just made the page bigger and it zapped me out of what I need to read. So who was that about to say something? Gullah? Was that Gullah? Now here it go.
Hey, all I was gonna say is if you go back to the portrait wiki page and go down to where it say people of Fayum, that's gonna kind of give you the detail of what was going on.
Man, I went to the source of where they said they got that from, and I'm reading what they talking about, and it'd be a lot of trickery going on. Not y'all. I'm talking about how they did it. Look, it say ethnicity in Ptolemaic and Roman Egypt. Now look at how this article concludes that they was Egyptians. They ain't talking about no damn genetics and shit. Look, it says, in the eyes, this is where they got it from. In the eyes of Rome, however, any resident of Egypt who was not either a Roman citizen or a citizen of Alexandria, Necropolis, Ptolemais, or Antinopus was simply an Egyptian, a designation that applied to metropolites and villagers alike, without respect to one's ethnic descent. You see? So they completely contradicting the way y'all using the data. They just saying that they was Egyptian to the Romans and they wasn't Roman to the Romans. Mm-hmm. And it clearly says without. They use three of them, but this is one of them, and I see how the data is being misrepresented. It says without respect to one's ethnic descent.
They tell you how many, like the like the statistics of how many was Roman.
But I'm with y'all too. Y'all is right. Y'all ain't wrong. But we didn't know y'all was talking about without respect to their ethnic descent. See?
No, that's not the only way. I mean, that's one source that maybe.
Oh, so now that's one source, but we didn't even look into one source before to know what they was talking about.
So what are you saying? The statement is false?
No, it's true. I said y'all right, but don't misrepresent it, because you got to say without respect to one's ethnic descent. So you could say, yeah, they found out they was Egyptians, but without respect to their ethnic descent, meaning they was just saying they was the Egyptians as a categorization of people who wasn't all the way coming from Rome directly. Alexandrian, Necropolis, you could be Greek. They gonna just say you was just simply Egyptian. So again, that's not, y'all didn't make no egregious error. I just figured out that the data was being kind of misrepresented.
Hey, Smash, that is egregious at the end of the day. You just being nice because it misrepresents the data. And whenever you misrepresent the data, yo, you start to be wild and we get into these arguments and shit break down. So what I'm gonna say is, yo, I've been studying archaeology for 15 years. By no means am I an expert, but what I can do that nobody else can do, just talking that northern shit, show me a progression of northern culture to the south. I can clearly show you a progression of culture coming out of the southerly areas, progressing its way up to the goddamn Delta. I can show that. So at this point, if you can't do it, I don't want to hear the Fayum. I tried to make the point that there are villages in the Fayum that are likened to the villages in quote unquote Western Asia. They don't have villages on the Nile, except in those areas. Why? Because those people was having contact with people from Western Asia. It makes sense. It's not a bad thing to have people from Western Asia coming into the Delta. They were supposed to do it. Of course, they
don't know why they would have had to get their villages from people outside. I think them Egyptians made their own goddamn villages. I don't think they need no Asian niggas coming in showing them how to make a damn village. I think they had villages long before any nigga came in there.
I know, hey, Corey, this is where me and you get crazy, dog. I'm saying is the way you just framed that, yo, is extra wild. I'm looking at the archaeological record. Yes, listen to what I'm saying, dog. Just
they needed some Asian niggas to show them how to make a village. That's what you saying?
Nobody's saying
so
that.
You're arguing. No. What I'm saying is this is what you do, dog. I'm saying right. You see how you did this? Because you don't want to know, yo. You just want to argue. You don't really want to know what I'm saying.
I'm not arguing. I asked you, bro. I'm asking you, bro. You don't think they could have built their own village without the Asian niggas?
But the way you did it, you dove in the middle of me fucking explaining. So while you doing that, we've been off the point for 30 seconds now. I could have been got this shit out, which would have made sense to a person like you for reason. So either you want me to tell you or you just want to argue with me. Either way, I'm gonna win on this particular point. How do you want to do it for you?
You got the floor, bro. Go ahead.
Thank you, sir. What I'm saying is early, first of all, Egypt started with white people, right, coming from Europe, with the idea of studying Mesopotamia. So all the money and resources was put into the Mesopotamian area. And in the Mesopotamian area, they seen these mounds, yo. And when they realized what the mounds was villages. And so they thought that everybody on planet Earth had villages. And so you go back to Ur, that go back 7,000 BCE. That's why you hear say Ur, the oldest city, 7,000. It's a fucking village at the end of the day. And newer villages are built on the older villages. So at the end of the day, after millennium, you see a mound. When they got to Egypt and the Nile Valley, they see that they've seen in a few places. And they was like, oh, these niggas wasn't on the level because they don't got their villages, and the villages end up being towns, and the towns end up having kings. They thought everybody did it that way. Now they realize that, wait a minute. Niggas reach the level of sophistication, not the player. What is your fucking village? How is it that you have high-level astronomical equipment in the fucking 6,000 BCE, but don't got enough sense to build a fucking village? That don't make no sense. realize that these niggas didn't like that village settled life. They like to have summer homes. They like to travel back and forth. They like to follow the herd. And it was down a high level of sophistication. The white people, we feel you change that. Now we know that having a fucking village don't mean shit. So what I'm telling you is that people from Western Asia migrated back and forth, and they built some villages in Fayum. That's what I'm saying. That's it. So you're Western Asia because the majority of people in Africa they was moving back and forth. They didn't like to settle, but they had their grave site. So I make the point that the first cities in Africa were actually cities of the dead. Grave sites, millions of them. That predate fucking regular cities, Corey. That's all I'm trying to say, bro.
Man, we there? Corey, you got a response?
Yeah, for some reason though, you know, a lot of that was he was breaking up. I don't know if it was just me or whatever. I ain't trying to be funny or nothing. But
nah, he was breaking. He wasn't breaking up over for us. But go ahead.
Okay, well that's cool. That's cool. It was just me then. But the thing is, like, we talking about the Fayum, so I don't know why we, you know, it seems like. Now I'm switching sides, you know, and and y'all trying to tell me that these Asian dudes came in and showed these niggas how to make a goddamn crib. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it seems like to me.
Nah.
Maybe I'm hearing it wrong, and I just can't. I can't register it in my brain, right? What Unc said, right? Like I said, a lot of that, maybe my connection, maybe I don't know what was wrong with my connection or something, but it was a little choppy. Whatever, but
you from Chicago?
I just hear him saying that these Asians came in somehow. Go ahead. Somebody want to say something?
No, I'm saying you're from Chicago, and if you brought your family to Chicago, you got a certain way that y'all make pizza, yo. And so it doesn't mean that you taught niggas in motherfucking Baltimore how to make pizza. You just made Chicago pizza. And you live there, and maybe 50 of y'all niggas came. And in y'all area, y'all niggas made Chicago pizza. So if he found years later, niggas say, so niggas have keep calling this pizza, no, Chicago pizza, nigga. I'm saying, no, nigga, nigga, and you have people who live there.
He breaking up for everybody now,
Hey, you gotta calm it down because it's breaking up.
Trying to make me seem like I'm tripping all the time, bro. I knew he was breaking up the first time.
He started breaking up this time.
Ahead,
no, it's not that. It's the actual speaker. So I'm going to switch it to my phone, and it might switch back. I'm saying you're from Chicago.
Like that, if you talk like that, you're good to go. If you talk just like that.
No, what I did was I actually switched it. I switched the technology over, but it switches back and forth from in a car.
Yeah, them car microphones, they got a life of their own, dude. Yeah, go ahead.
What I want to say is, Corey, I'm not saying that it took anybody from Western Asia to build villages. What I'm saying is it doesn't take people from Chicago to teach people in Baltimore how to make pizza. So if you're making pizza from Chicago, that's just the way you make pizza. So people did migrate to Western Asia, and goes to them talk about it all the time. There's nothing wrong with people traveling back and forth. And so they just brought the way they lived, right, to that area, and they lived that way. But you still got the indigenous.
So you saying the Anatolian farmers? Is that what you're saying? That came in?
Well, I'm not even talking about Anatolian. I'm just saying people from Western Asia who build villages, right? The same way they build the villages where they came from. Matter of fact, they don't even know they're in the Delta, yo. They don't know they're in the place that would later on become Egypt. They don't know it. Only we know that. They just know they move in because they're in the mode of survival. And they build their type of, that's it. Right? But they also run into an indigenous population that we all forget. They run into a population that got a way they living. And you can actually see it in the archaeological record. So my point is that white people played this wild ass game and said that, well, since they got villages over here, then everybody got to have villages to be a motherfucking culture and a civilization. And I'm saying that was the bullshit. It's not the cookie cutter on planet Earth. So in Africa, in the Nile Valley, they had a different mode of surviving. And it was called mobile communities. And they did it at a high level, higher than the levels of people that live near the Nile. And we can read it. I say it all the time. It's called Not the Playa. So if Not the Playa didn't have villages, but yet had shit that was found nowhere else on planet Earth, then why is it that if you have a village, you super technical, but if you got an astronomical tools that can help you look at the sky and look at the winter and summer solstice, which will later help you plant crops for real, why ain't you high level? And I'm saying it's the racism that makes that distinction. So I know for me, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get us out there mode of thinking, Corey. Corey, I don't want to hear you say, so you mean to tell me it took them niggas to come in there and help them build a village? And I'm saying, no, the niggas already had a mode of survival in the way they do shit. That's all I'm saying, bro. But it's there and we can't deny it. But the point that's really need to be made that for real, the villages didn't keep migrating all the way down to the goddamn south. That didn't happen. That's my point of how the culture moved.
Oh, so okay? That's your point. The shit in the north didn't make it down to the south over there.
So, some of it did, so, of course, some of it, but it wasn't. You can't just look at an archaeological record and see. We can actually show how they, because remember, first of all, they fought a war. The Upper Egyptians, which is the Southern Egyptians, right? They defeated the Northern people, and then they became one land. And if you read
at the Brooklyn Museum, they say we're not sure if it was a war or if it was something the way it did, but it moved in a southerly direction. And I didn't say it; they said it. I'll pull it up before the show is over with. The shit just went right back.
No, I hear you on that, but so what you're saying, and I like the way you put that. That actually, when you said that actually sounded very good. It sounded real good. You said the Southern Egyptians was into it with the Northern Egyptians. So no matter what, we're talking about people within Egypt. No matter which ones which one of these groups we talking about, they both Egyptians. You see what I'm saying?
They weren't called Egyptians yet, though.
But
they weren't called Egyptians yet, though.
Yeah, right. I agree with that. But what I'm saying is, they're in modern day. If we look at a map of modern day Egypt, both of these groups would be within those borders. Am I correct with that? That's what you're saying.
Yeah, they're the same people, just different tribes, and they are related.
No. I asked a very, very specific question. And
I have the specific answer. I have the answer for you, Corey. I'm not running. And what Smash made the greatest point of the day, and he should have pinned that shit, that it was the archaeologists that took what they was calling Nubians out of that Egyptian. Yeah, I'm saying first, and second, let's not leave out what they deem to be. We can read the Rising report, right? They say them niggas are slaves. Yeah, but that's a lie. They say that they watch this, Corey. This is the funny part of the whole thing, and this is why it's confusing. They said that these niggas or these Negroes is in all the households of Egypt, yo. They say we found them everywhere, so they must be the slaves like us. They the Negroes. That phenotype make them Negroes, and they are slaves to the Egyptians. I could pull it up, and everybody ignores that shit when I read it, yo. Like, they said that, and Smash said, he said, yo, these niggas said that. So you're right, Corey. Corey, guess what, Corey? I don't want to leave out the Fayum population, but other people do. Other people act like that there wasn't motherfuckers migrating from Western Asia, right? I don't act like that. I act like what I act like, that it was the Nile Valley culture, African culture, and Western Asian culture that will become Mediterranean culture. I say that clearly. The corridor was open, yo.
They become one of the cultures on the Mediterranean. Yeah.
No, Corey, you can't say that, Corey. Mediterranean culture. Hold on, Gullen. I'm gonna shut up. Mediterranean culture is actually indigenous African culture and indigenous Western Asian culture. That's what Mediterranean culture is, which would later on be Rome and Greece and all that. So now we get the slick, Corey. Now we really got him, Corey. Now the shit we thought was white boy shit was really Western Asia and African culture. And I'm gonna end with that because I don't want to be too.
Yeah, I never one day thought it was white boy shit. If anybody ever thought for 1 second that I thought any of these people was white, that I think Mediterranean people are white people, y'all are highly mistaken me. I do not in any way, shape, or form believe that Mediterranean people are white people. I don't equate them to white people, no.
When you get mad, you do. When you mad at me, you do.
No,
you
I never did that. I've never done that before, bro. I never thought that Mediterranean people was white people. I think y'all thought that. I think a lot of people think that Mediterranean means white. That's why I got so much pushback, because they think Mediterranean means white. But I never, ever thought Mediterranean meant white. That's why I understand when they say the Egyptians are neither black nor white, because, again, Mediterranean people are neither black nor white. In the same way that Chinese people are neither black nor white. You see what I'm saying? So it's not a confusing thing until we make it confusing. It's not a hard thing until we start trying to justify things that really ain't no justification for. So that's all I be at. You know what I'm saying?
So Corey, why do they say they not black or white? I know why they say they're not black or white.
For the same reason Chinese people ain't black or white.
No. I'm gonna tell you the statement. The statement arose. The statement arose.
Is Chinese people black or white though?
No. They try to say they white. But listen, the statement actually arose at the Cairo Symposium, yo. That statement arose out of an argument of Diops. Now we put Diops in the Hall of Fame, yo, because they were like, all right, nigga, you got us, yo. They African motherfuckers, yo. But we not playing that whole race shit and saying they black. That's why the statement was made. So niggas later on won't do what niggas be doing right now, Corey. And you know we all fight against that. Oh, the Egyptians is black. How, nigga? They said they wasn't. Diop said they was, and they say they wasn't. But what they is indigenous. We're going to give you that. You right. That the culture that made Egypt is an indigenous African culture. You got us, nigga. You right. But they not black, like you saying. You saying they fucking Negroes. No, they not. Why? Because we just finished fighting against Hitler and them niggas over that shit. So we can't go back on it and say, yeah, it's that. That's all I'm saying, yo. There's a political aspect to this that Diops is trying to bring forward, and they put the stop sign on that nigga and still put him in the Hall of Fame because he made niggas look to Africa for indigenous culture. Prior to that, they was acting like Egypt was really indigenous Western Asian culture because of places like the Fayum.
So
what I'm saying, yo?
Are you saying
he
that
put the artwork, he put the Western and Central African artwork next to the Egyptian artwork, and so no one had ever done that before. So he's revered for that. Me personally,
no.
I don't want to minimize that.
No. Hey, Corey, but, you won't. Corey, if you hear me, Corey, listen, Corey, listen. It's funny. That was a good funny one. I got a good laugh out of it. I promise you. But listen, that's not what he's famous for. He's famous because now, and Smash been doing it. Go back and look at Smash shows. No matter how much I get mad at the nigga when he say they black, and I still get mad at that. But actually, he's been showing you how, and I've been saying this for like 5 years. Do you realize, yo, we had the same argument for 3 years straight? I've been trying to tell niggas that, yo, they have changed the argument now. And the argument is half of the argument. That's my point. That's why he in the Hall of Fame.
Because they saying that I don't think it's hard for me to believe that no one knew that they was African before Diaz knew that said that though.
They actually did, bro. They really actually argued that.
Believing that the Egyptians wasn't African. I've never once.
Are you serious, dude?
Oh man, why we all?
I don't know what's going on.
And I've never heard nobody say that until I start having these conversations though. It's obvious that they're African. Like I don't, to me, and y'all, everybody's got different experience, and I'm gonna grant that. But just in my life, bro, Egyptians ain't never been nothing but African to me. They ain't never been. They never been from Asia. I never.
All right, it's time for a wiki from
Asia. Nobody never told me no shit like that.
It's time for some wiki from my man, because it appears you don't even know.
I wasn't in that. See, the thing is, you guys were looking into things that I wasn't looking into. I'm just going off of my elementary, middle school, and high school education.
as far as that goes, right?
That's what they taught.
I was educated that Egypt was in Africa.
Nah, they was. Well, you must have went to a black school or something.
School.
You went to a black school?
To a public school.
Was it black teacher who taught you that?
I don't know. It was. I mean, it was geography. I don't.
Nah, they wasn't teaching that in geography. They made up a term called the Middle East to avoid saying that. But let's read what you said.
Y'all be having some terrible teachers, man.
Nah, that's why they say the Middle East. That's but let's do this real quick. Look, it's called the dynastic race theory. Since you said you never heard of this, we had to hit them with a wiki. So look,
before I come on.
But now this is the theory you espouse. You promulgate this theory. It says the dynastic race theory was the earliest thesis in attempting to explain how pre-dynastic Egypt developed into a sophisticated monarchy of dynastic Egypt. The theory holds that the earliest roots of ancient Egyptian dynastic civilization were imported by invaders from Mesopotamia, who then founded the first dynasty and brought culture to the indigenous population. The theory has strong supporters in the Egyptological community in the first half of the 20th century, but has since lost mainstream support. So that's what
you said. I espouse that.
Yeah, y'all say they came in from the east.
No. Don't switch to the y'all on me. So at what point in time did I say something like that? That these people had got culture from the Asians, and the Asians brought this.
Are we serious?
And all that.
Oh, you never. Oh, okay. I don't know what's going on. This is the Mandela effect.
Oh man, y'all! Just because I said their genetics, I was talking about genetics.
They saying invaders.
Same thing, Corey. Genetics is tied to people.
Y'all can't be honest.
Hey, post some flip flops in the chat. Look, everybody post some flip flops in the chat. If Corey got his flip flop on, I need to see some sandals in the chat. Come on.
I said they got culture.
Nope. No, you said genetics, Corey.
What point is this? Come on. Now, if anybody is going to keep it real,
Corey. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna keep it real.
You gotta cut this out.
So I know. Hey, Corey, guess what? No, I'm not. Corey, check this out, yo. I just would like to say that it wasn't Egypt that made me and you go to total war, yo. That was just some old spawn shit, some fun shit, right? What made us go to war, we already really know. But watch this, Corey. I left the term because I knew later on I was gonna bring it back up. I said, y'all niggas practicing race science. And I did it on purpose because there's a book. And guess what the book talks about? Using genetics to make up a race. So when you say the genetics is in Western Asia, right? And that's where the Egyptians came from, right?
And I didn't say they came from there.
I added it on. I added that. That's my add-on.
Denied.
You didn't say the Western Asian niggas. You said these are the same niggas that's all over the Mediterranean, which includes Egypt. Didn't you not say that?
Yes, I said Egypt is some Mediterranean ass niggas. They Levantian ass niggas. I said they all the same group of niggas.
Well, that's this theory. That's this theory. But now look,
there you go.
I said they the same niggas.
Now check this out real quick. Somebody say this ain't genetics. Somebody say this ain't genetics, but they messing it up because they gotta understand that the genome and all that stuff is new. So this is the science that led to it. They was trying to figure it out. Let's read the origins. In the early 20th century, Egyptologist Sir William Matthew Flinders Petrie deduced the skeletal remains found at pre-dynastic sites in Nakada indicated the presence of two different races. So they was using their old school craniology. It says with the dynastic race, also referred to as the followers of Horus, differentiated physically from the notable larger skeletal structures and cranial capacity. It says Petrie concluded that the physical differences of the remains in conjunction with the previous unknown burial sites, uncharacteristic tomb architecture, and abundance of foreign artifacts implied that this race must have been an invading ruling elite that was responsible for the seeming sudden rise of Egyptian civilization. So they was
they wrong. They just as wrong as the Egyptomaniacs.
But this your boy Chief X say this every day.
That's fine. That's Chief X. I don't have anything to do with that. I ain't never.
I'm about to have to
What
sample
do you
this.
call Egypt?
Any of this, anything that you just read on that page, I've never espoused any of that. I believe that's
man.
pseudoscience.
Flip
I
flops.
believe
I ain't seen
everything
no
that you
flip
just
flops
said
in the
was
chat.
You
pseudoscience.
just did it though, Corey. You just said it, Corey. You
Sure.
said all them Mediterranean niggas. You just said it.
Yeah, I did. I said they are
Right, so
Mediterranean.
But
Can
what
be
is
Bro, how could they
Mediterranean?
how
at
could
the
they be
same time. I didn't
Mediterranean
say
if the culture
Not
somebody came in and built
Mediterranean.
their
starts in the
civilization
Nile?
for them.
Have to
And
What they
sample this.
someone came in and built their civilization from for them.
My mic
No, you didn't say
yellow.
that,
Because they
Corey, but you
share
said they
genetics.
Mediterranean.
Because they share
Mic
genetics
check
with
1 2.
other
Okay.
Mediterranean people,
Corey,
don't
Corey.
mean somebody came in and built their shit for them.
Brother
I
Corey,
agree.
how could they be?
Y'all
I agree.
y'all gotta
Corey.
be honest about what I'm saying
Hey,
here,
Corey.
bro.
We
Yeah, but
is
how
being
they gonna
honest.
be
You said
Mediterranean if they
Mediterranean
start
niggas,
low
yo.
in the Nile?
You said
I
Mediterranean
said that.
niggas, Corey.
I did say that.
So, Corey,
What I didn't say is somebody else came in and
You
built
didn't say
and
that.
gave them
You
their
never
culture.
said that.
I
You
didn't
never
say
said
that.
But you did. But you were so close to a nigga when he said it. The shit was all on you. That's the
No,
problem.
I don't even
Like,
think
we
he
couldn't
said
separate.
that, but that's
Separate that.
fine. If y'all
Oh,
want to
really?
accuse somebody else, I'm not going
See, really? See? So
I
then why
don't
would we
believe
ever
he said it.
argue?
I
You know
don't
what's
believe
funny? So you know what? Why would we argue then? You got to think about that, Corey.
Because it's because if
Why
y'all
not say crackhead?
don't
Why not say
argue that
crackhead?
if we don't say oh somebody else brought their culture, when we don't say that, then it's nothing to argue about. We actually in step with the experts. Now you can't disprove the shit I'm saying.
But you
because
now
you can't say that
the
Egyptians ain't no Levant niggas.
You're not.
You can't
Corey.
you can't say that because I
Corey.
can pull up the Levant. I can type
No, you
in
can't.
the word Levant, pull up a map, and
No, you
it'll
can't.
show me where the Levant is at.
But we can't
No,
look
that's
at
a
it the other way.
geopolitical term.
The Levant was
It
Egyptian
don't matter
niggas.
what the fuck the term is. It's where
Hey,
is the
hey, we're
goddamn
getting too
Levant?
high. Hey, we're
I
getting
figured it out.
too. Oh, we're
Hey,
gonna
Smack,
really
it
hold
don't
on.
matter.
We changing
Where
back.
the Levant at?
We changing back the
Hey, Corey, I
format.
forgot where we went wrong.
We're going down the wrong street, and I'm not gonna let us get there. So I want to hear this dialogue. And we're going to ask Brother Bobby to be the one to unmute himself first and to engage whoever he so wishes. Go ahead.
All right, so I kind of figured it out now. So when we talking biological organisms, right, we got to separate that from the geopolitical politics. So when you look up a map and it expounds a geological, geopolitical border, we shouldn't apply it to the biological organism because that political border can move based off of who's making that. So, and I got it now, Corey. You made that. When you pulled it up and said, yo, it's paid as a Levant. Egypt is a Levant. Yeah, that's the geopolitical politics, yo. That doesn't count in our conversation because that's not our conversation. Our conversation is very rigid and the straight.
Now, Val.
All
That's
right.
our conversation. That's all I'm saying.
Your mic, your headset went in and out. So now we're gonna play a little game real quick. Who would you like to address your statement? And then and then the next person can open and close somebody's mic. So once people get their mic open, you're gonna have the rights to get somebody's mic closed if you're the last person who got their mic open. So who mic to open up? We just playing some games. Fuck it.
He can open up Corey mic.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask Corey.
A good point.
So, Corey, you got the floor, and once all the mics get open, the last person got their mic open could close somebody's mic. But, all right, so you got the floor, Corey.
So, yeah, okay, fine. It's a geopolitical term, but now, because it's a geopolitical term, now it's no such thing as the Levant anymore. That's all I want to say.
And determine who.
What is it?
Sudan will be the Levant when they wanted to be, and then it won't be. That's all. And we need to recognize that.
I'm not asking about Sudan. I'm talking about Egypt. What do you said? Yeah, though. What are you saying? Yeah. What does that mean?
I'm saying that when I say it's a geopolitical border, they include the Sudan in the Middle East when they want to. That's all. And I think that's important.
But I asked though. I said, since it's a geopolitical term.
Correct.
And I agree with it. I'm fine with it being a geopolitical term. Does that now mean that the Levant don't exist?
No, that means that you leave out people when you want to and bring them in when you want to. That's all. People don't move with the geopolitical border. That's all. The people have been there back and forth.
That's fine. But when when I say Levant, you know where I'm talking. You know what I'm talking
Yes.
about. Though, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So
but
when
you
I
say the
when I
Mediterranean
say
niggas,
those niggas live in the Levant, right?
Correct.
So
Okay.
at that point, then you start acting like, oh, I've never heard of no such thing as that. You know what I'm saying? It just it baffles me with how that works.
So let me unbaffle you.
Go ahead.
I don't understand that term when we're having a biological conversation about an indigenous African place. So the Levant is not an indigenous African thing.
Strictly biological. It is geopolitical and biological.
No, it's not. It's actually cultural and biological.
So we talking about borders. Y'all talked about borders earlier and all that kind of shit.
I'm saying, let me just address this statement. When you say they Levantian niggas, right? My question is, do you understand that the Levant, the Levant is an area, or the Middle East, or the Mediterranean niggas, you like to say the Mediterranean niggas, you need to realize what the Mediterranean actually is. It has been mischaracterized. So remember I said, there's a stop sign there. We need to explain to the people who don't read what we're reading what you mean when you say Mediterranean niggas. Because, Corey, what you mean when you say Mediterranean, meaning the people that traded in that area, yo. Remember we had that conversation, yo? You never explained it. You just throw it out there, dog. Remember?
It's people that live on the border, on the shores. They live on the shores of the Mediterranean, bro. Like Egypt is the shore. Egypt is one of the shores of the Mediterranean. I don't care about who did a damn trade. They could have never traded a fucking piece of corn in that motherfucker. The fact of the matter is, Egypt is on the shores of the Mediterranean. That's a fact. That's not something that I'm pulling out of my ass.
But facts, some facts are irrelevant facts.
You can pull up, you can go up in an airplane high up in the sky, bro, and you can look right down from an airplane and see that the fucking shores of the Mediterranean touch Egypt.
First of all, you don't even know Egyptian geography. You don't even know Egyptian geography. It wasn't even houses that high up in the delta to touch the shore back in ancient times. Which nomes touched the shore that were there? Which nomes of Lower Egypt touched the shore, Corey? You see, you're gonna start talking about shit like Alexandria. Yeah, you think about. I know. I don't expect you to know. I just kind of,
bro.
No,
but if we can't even admit that the Egypt sits on the shores of the Mediterranean,
I'm showing you how insignificant that data is. So it was so abandoned that when Alexander got there, they was able to build a whole city called Alexandria, a port city right on the shore of Mesopotamia, which they didn't take over no other extraction. Alexandria wasn't built on top of nothing. What I'm telling you is that shore that you think is so significant is insignificant, for one, because it rendered salt water. So really, if you living in ancient times, you ain't tripping off being close to salt water. You want to be close to fresh water. But I'll let Aunt go ahead. And then, Corey, you can close my mic or open anybody mic you want.
So Smash, I think you hit it on the head. And all we would ever have to do is look in the glyphs. And when you look in the glyphs, the significance is not on the Mediterranean. The significance is on the rest of the topography. The Red Sea. The upper portions, and you look in the animals. I just want everybody to know, for the fucking record, I want y'all to know that it damn near snow in Alexandria. I'm gonna say this one more goddamn time. It fucking sleets in Alexandria. What naked person do you know want to live in a place where the shit is sleeting? I want you to know that 350,000 years niggas was naked.
Hey,
And
I
for
want
a
to have some
long
fun.
period,
Oh, I'm gonna let you
niggas was
finish. I want to have some fun with this, Corey.
350,000.
Hey,
That was a
Corey,
long time before Egypt, bro.
do me a
Yeah, I'm
You
favor.
saying
said
the
I could
average
open
was
up
they was
somebody's
necking
mic,
though.
Yeah.
I
Do
want
that
to
for
open
just
up
to have some
iPhone.
fun.
I want to open up iPhone's mic.
Okay, iPhone, you got the floor. We about to open up iPhone. See, yeah, he bringing in some support. This gonna work. And then if it ever get greasy, y'all could just play the game and close somebody's mic to get them up out of here. The next person to have to open it back up. iPhone, you got a lifeline. Corey need a lifeline right now. We think that's Gozy. I hope it ain't Gozy, so it won't be the right lifeline.
No, my name says Street Sufi. I'm right here.
Oh, there go. What's up with you, bro? Okay, you got you gonna stay open? Keep your mic open. I'm gonna ask you to unmute.
Okay, go ahead.
You
Yeah,
got
I'm
the
here.
floor. You got the floor.
I agree with first of all, as I said on every show, the Mediterraneans that they use or what they classify as the Mediterranean, they never had one ethnic group there. So all of the niggas that Brother Unc read and all the stuff that you read in description of who was who, those people made it up there. Just like on the other side of the Mediterranean, people made it to their borders. It's nothing special about it. They had multiple looks. They had multiple ethnic groups. I don't know why we arguing about what's what. Now, Brother Smash, if you look up Mediterranean countries, you can see all the Mediterranean countries. Most of the countries in North Africa, they classify as the Mediterranean. Most of the countries in Southern Europe, they classify as the Mediterranean, all the way to Anatolia, Turkey, all the way through the Levant. The Eastern Mediterranean is what they call is Turkey. So what's wrong with the Mediterranean? What's wrong with
No,
that?
you won't
They
get
had
no.
multiple groups there,
You
multiple
won't get
ethnic
no
groups there.
pushback on what you just said. What I pointed out about the fact that Corey said was that culture was insignificant, even though geopolitically is classified as Mediterranean because it borders Egypt. You got to note that all of the other Mediterranean cultures actually use the beach access. Like when we talk about the Levant, that's the beach of Syria, and it's just like they used it a little bit different. So I was talking about since Egypt was founded down in Upper Egypt by the fourth nome at fifth as the highest in the Kata, then we could just see. I definitely wouldn't give you no pushback about what you just pointed out, but I was giving pushback to the significance of that border.
Right, but so let me just say this. So people that came from the Red Sea or the culture that came from Upper Egypt, and not Sudan, but Upper Egypt or going up north, those populations they help impact the Mediterranean world. This African element. You get what I'm saying? Just like the people in Southern Europe help impact their portion of the Mediterranean world or the Levant. So of course they were all distinct, but I don't think that we should be arguing over. I mean, I can't say what we shouldn't be argued over, but I think that we can all agree to disagree on this one because we know about what they label the Mediterranean now compared to what was then. If we go back then in ancient times, of course, no one's seen it like that in ancient times. But today, we know what countries is part of the Mediterranean borders. The countries in North Africa is part of the Mediterranean. Countries in Southern Europe is part of the Mediterranean. It's just like if I take you back 6,000 years ago or 4,000 years ago, did the Egyptian call itself African, even though we are fighting for the idea of Egyptians being African today? No, they didn't. So if we base it, so we can't, none of us can really flip-flop on that. Because at one point we're talking about the Egyptians was Africans, but 3,000 years ago they didn't call themselves that. But today they'll call themselves that because it's a country that sits in Africa. So when we talk about the Mediterranean world, today is classified as the Mediterranean. Egypt is part of the Mediterranean world. So according to today's status, what's the problem?
So the main thing, and again, it don't contradict much of what you're saying. It's just about it actually was the Mediterranean was part of the Egyptian world. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so stated that way, people would actually see, we both saying there was intermingling going on, but in the sense of spread of culture, dominance, even when we talk about things like food, if we look into the text, we'll see that they was getting shipments of food sent up there all the time, which would probably mandate what eventually turns out as Mediterranean, even those flatbreads and some of the Jewish flatbreads that we find them talking about in the Bible, we find them first shipping it to that area. And so that's all I'm saying is that if we keep it in the proper context, it's all good.
Yeah, so Smack, let me just say this. Let me add on. So let's talk about the trades that they had. Brother Unc spoke on it. You spoke on it. Unc been talking about it for years. We've been talking about it for years. What trade is ancient Egyptian market have in the known world. You can see the grapes, the barley, the wheat, and all the cultural exchange between the Levant and even certain part. They just found out recently that I think her name was Queen Niti. They were trading with certain metals with Minoan groups in the Crete area. You know, we think about Greece in 332 BC, but there was already a market of exchange with populations before the Macedonians took over Greece from the Minoans and the other populations that were there before that. You know, Greece went through a population turnover too, and a lot of changes. The Egyptians had I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna add, but you finish.
Yeah, so they had a population turnover too before, you know, even before Alexander came in 332 BC. Greece went through a lot of changes because the Macedonians were the founding population that established the Greeks from the other populations that were there. But what I'm trying to say is that these people in the northern portions of Africa already had a cultural exchange. Lapis lazuli coming from the Oxum River, grapes, wheat and barley, sheep, goat. You know, these people already had a market with that Mediterranean world. As you said, the Egyptians brought a flavor to the Mediterranean world. The Amazigh portions of the desert or the Sahara and certain portions of Africa had a trade market with the Mediterranean world. People from Southern Europe and Iberian Peninsula they put a hand in the Mediterranean world. So it's just looking at a region with different ethnic groups was sitting at the borders of each continent at that time had a known market with one another and cultural exchange. Not to mention, we all believe in evolution and the mechanisms of evolution. So it only makes sense the populations in North Africa, the populations in Southern Europe went through some type of parallel evolution because of cultural continuity exchange and sexual selection with similar women for thousands of years. So why wouldn't they look similar and phenotype today because of all those changes and continuity of cultural exchange that's been consistent for a long time?
All right, so that was well said. So who, Mike, you want to open up if you don't mind picking somebody? Say Imhotep got his hand up if you ain't got nobody. But who Mike, you want to open up if you can see the names of the people?
Real quick, I just wanted to share what I'm sharing on the screen. You know what I mean? This is where the Levant is at, bro. So I mean, for people who think I'm just making this up or this is something that I came up with.
You didn't make that up, but somebody did. The Levant ain't a real thing. That's just a term. It's like the Fertile Crescent was made up by James Henry Breasted. So cats be like, it's in the Fertile Crescent. Nah, that's just something a white boy made up one day, and we going by these things as given. So we can look up right now.
They've been referring to this area as the Levant for
yeah. I'm not mad. I'm with you. Let's scroll down and see when they came to that actually, because it will show us the etymology on the Levant. If we go down to the etymology section,
just where it says the etymology.
Normally, if this is wiki, if you scroll down, they're gonna.
Here we go. I got you.
Yeah.
Right here. Okay. This is
So there you go at the bottom.
Yeah.
I seen it. Mediterranean in the 1570s. Now I'm not mad that is a 1600 term, but anybody before that didn't know nothing about this concept of no Levant or no Fertile Crescent. That's coming out the 1900s. Like Abraham wouldn't have knew, oh, it's fertile all in this area because I'm in the Fertile Crescent. I could just go down to Egypt. Particularly like the Levant. It's just like a term that we use now to describe the region.
Right. Well, it's just like and I guess it means the land of the sunrise or something like that. Sunshine land or whatever. So yeah, I don't know, man. I just wanted to just show y'all that I'm not making this shit up, bro. I'm not the one who come up with these terms. I'm just looking at what people who know more than me about this shit refer to it as, right? And so, you know, the whole thing is, you know, we refer to the experts until now when the experts ain't saying what we like it to say, then now the experts is either racist or they don't know what the hell they talking about. It just baffles me. To me, that's all I want to say. I think it was gonna let somebody talk or something. But
you slipped that one in for the record.
You slipped it in.
I mean, y'all don't think geologists and
we didn't say nothing about racism.
Who make the maps and shit, they don't. I don't know. I guess they don't know what they talking about.
I didn't say they was racist.
Something's
So
wrong with
my-
that.
my-
Something's wrong with the way they did that somehow.
No, hey Corey, why you don't gotta paint the picture like that? Everybody sitting on here know the game that was played. And for the record, that's the same game in that article that Smash pulled up. Pull it up again, Smash. It's called the enraiding vase theory. And they use terms like Mediterranean, or like now you're trying to use the proper term. Don't nobody understand that? They don't get it. They think you using the way they was using. That's why I said it was a stop sign. Explain what it means. That's the point I'm making, because it's misused.
If y'all think it's racist to use Mediterranean,
it was.
We got a lot to work on. We got
listen,
it was
Corey,
back in the day. You
Corey.
can pull it up. No,
Corey,
Smash, pull it up,
Corey.
Smash.
That
Smash,
like that description of the Egyptians, as Mediterranean is missing the point that the people who founded the civilization did not come from the Mediterranean; they came from interior Africa. So to call the culture Mediterranean is kind of missing the understanding that it was founded by interior Africans. If we're specifically talking about the Fayum and the populations that are there, then I mean, I find it difficult to believe that they could be Mediterranean since they're not on the Mediterranean. But as in the fact that they could be mixture there, then fine. But the idea that Egypt itself was a Mediterranean civilization is really like, it's not Mediterranean peoples, let's say, that founded them. The people, it wasn't even people who were on the Mediterranean coast that founded the civilization. It was people from deep inside the continent. Well, I shouldn't say deep inside the continent,
that's
but
not
deeper
true.
inside the continent.
That's why Corey, man.
What ain't true? What he say that wasn't true?
Yeah, all these didn't come from the interior Africa.
No, he said who founded it. He said who founded it. You gotta hear it. No, he said who founded it. That's what he said.
Nah, but that's not how Egypt. No, Egypt.
No, it did. You got to look at the map. Where's Nakata at? Think about it. Who Nakata founded
it? Interior of Africa. Wait, hold on. Let's establish with the
interior. How is that not the interior? Is that the coast?
No. Hold on. Let's establish it. Go ahead, brother. We need to have. That's when Corey died.
Hold
on. Eat y'all up.
No. Think about what he said, bro.
My friend, the only distinction I'm making is that it is not the coast. None of the civilization that started was started on the coast of Mediterranean. It was in the interior.
No, but you went too far down. See, he thinking you saying the interior of Africa.
Yeah,
it was founded by people in the interior of North Africa.
Right, but that's still Africa.
I know, but the interior of Africa is so much further south. That's why Aunt took objection, I think.
Well, I guess I don't know that interior of Africa is a particular thing.
No, we act like we don't know Egypt, man. So there are elements that came from the Delta that would be Egyptian, and it added to the culture.
But did they found it?
Don't lose that.
That's what I'm asking.
So here's the thing.
You got
the Delta founded.
You got Asian grains, yo.
Nah, y'all. You messed that all up, man. It's almost on my screen right now. You want me to pull it up? I don't want to do this. And so there's the thing. The grain in the Fayum is particularly Nubian. They got that, and they showed that it spread into the Fayum at 7,000 BC. So it was just a byproduct of something that I looked over. I'm not contradicting you. Ultimately, we do know that. Yeah, they do.
Don't leave me out there.
Yeah, they do got that. Some West Asian stuff, but I just by accident of looking for what Curry was talking about, just went over that in a document I was reading. So I'm gonna pull this up right now, and then I'm gonna share the screen.
So you do know what I mean when I say you got a grain from West. You do know what I mean, though. Right?
Yeah, and also I do know what y'all mean about the Fayum's contributions to the civilization of Egypt.
They packaged this shit in the African thing, though. Read the book, by Wingrove, yo. They although it's a Western Asian grain, they package it in the Nile Valley way. Although it's a hot dog from Germany, they package it in an American way. Do y'all get my point here?
Mm-hmm.
They had shit the hot dogs that the Germans wouldn't do. Because it's an American package on something that got brought in. That's the conversation I'm trying to have.
I'm not mad at that. But I want to go ahead. No, you go ahead.
So there's a map, right? And I'm gonna show it. It shows you where the different cultures is coming in to form Egypt. And Smash, we can talk. The kingship is a southern thing, no matter what a nigga say. The embodiment of the culture is a Southern thing. The deaf and dying is a blue and white Nile thing. I'm gonna say this again. The burial customs, which is the most important thing in the history of the Nile Valley, is when your ass die, is a Cartoonian thing. Does anybody want to challenge me with that?
Hold on, let me beat them up. Yeah, go ahead. I just want to. Now, you're talking about. Look, do y'all see what this says? This is Maria Gatto, and we really need to read this work because we wouldn't be getting beat up like this all in public. So watch this. The widespread nature of the Nubian culture. Okay, just so y'all can know. Now, I can read all this, but I just want to get to the part that we talking about. And this ain't addressing the grains, but this is addressing the widespread Nubian culture. It said, with the aim of enlarging their land, availability and expanding culturally and economic relations with the northern regions, such as the Oasis region, the Delta, including the Fayum, the Nubians moved northward to Middle Egypt. Now she talking about during, look, 5th millennium, okay? So 5th millennium BC, Nubian cultural boundaries became more fluid, probably as a result of another major climatic variation. The monsoon rain retreated further south, and the time affected also the Khartoum region in central Sudan, forcing the local population to nomadic pastoralist lifetime. At the same time, winter Mediterranean rainfall reached Gif Kabir Plateau, allowing pastoralist nomads that use the system as well. It says, although to the date there is no record of this kind, winter rains might have influenced other areas of North Africa. So she's talking about the 5th millennium BC when these Nubians went into the Fayum. So that's what I'll be talking about when we be like, okay, well, they was there. They was there too. And so we can't get too stretched out on that. And then I'll find the other part where she's talking about some of the Nubian grains that were in the area. But anybody who want to speak, go ahead, go right ahead.
Yeah. Don't move. Stay right there.
I'm going right back.
So, in that Brooklyn, you can pull it up. The Brooklyn Museum talks about how Nubian culture ranged far in North Africa. So and the old Nubian culture, we're talking about old Nubian culture, right, brought the pastoralism to North Africa. It's right there in the document. That's not to say that you don't got Western Asian cattle there. Humans can repackage things. I just want everybody to know this. But they say it's the old Nubian culture that ranged far in North Africa. So that aligns on what you're saying.
Most definitely. Anybody want their mic open? Just press the.
I want to hit Gullah and then go.
All right. Well, Gullah had left though. Come back, Gullah.
Where goes he? Where goes he at?
Let me open your mic, Gullah, please. Gozy, please.
What's up? What's up, brother? Peace.
I want to. So I think the fight about the Mediterranean thing is the way Europeans had misused it. Now we're all clear on what Mediterranean culture is, and I think you said the best. You said ain't no people there, right? Because it's Western Asia and indigenous African culture, which is the Mediterranean. But see, you understand that, right? Mm-hmm. Corey understood that. But the people listening, just fighting back and forth, they don't know that. They think when you say Mediterranean culture, you mean like the Romans and the Greeks and shit. You get my point?
Yeah. And yes. And the Romans and the Greeks is the European portion of the Mediterranean. So yes. Could you hear me up?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Yeah. So when you talk about the Greeks, or when people bring up the Greeks and the Romans, that's not the only element to the Mediterranean world. Again, Mediterranean is only a descriptive term for populations at the borders of each continent. So when you go to the Eastern Mediterranean, you find populations in West Asia, all the way to Turkey. When you go to the African portions, it's all the North African countries. When you go to Southern Europe, you find Greece and Rome. So no, the Greeks and the Romans have a later phase in the game, according to antiquity, when we study them, 332 BC and 30 BC. But the market of cultural exchange, like you found in 2000 BC, with the Minoan populations that were there, you even find them in certain depictions glyphs. When Minoan groups were bringing certain things to the Nile, which showed there was a market there. So absolutely, when you talk about when I speak, like you just said, I'm not just speaking on in the sense of the Mediterranean world of Greek and Roman. No, there is portions of the Mediterranean, what they classify as the Mediterranean, that has been consistent in the cultural exchange even before those later derived got in the game. So we're talking about populations in West Asia and populations in North Africa, you know, and when you study Africa, the culture that was shaped in Egypt, or when you study Egypt, the culture that was shaped in Egypt, we know where the king or the kingmanship starts at. We know where a lot of the elements come from. But these populations brought their flavor to those borders. You get what I'm saying? Then when you study the history of this Mediterranean term and this Levant term, as you guys just looked up, you can see what happened. Go ahead. I thought you were gonna say something.
No, I think it's layers to it, yo. And I think if they put all the pieces together, they can. It's not. Me and your conversation, Gullah, we actually not fighting together. I mean, we're not fighting against each other, and people think that we're saying something different. But there's layers. So if Gullah states that humans is monkeys, right? Okay,
correct.
There's a way to say that. So we know when we know that if you say, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
So we know that 40 million years. Shut the hell up. We know that in 40 million years, that would be the progenitor of the old and new world monkeys down the line, the Cataracts and all the simians and all that. We know that, right?
Correct.
But we're not going to jump out and say humans is monkeys. But at the end of the day, you can check the anatomy of humans and see that they had a tail.
Yes.
Which is one byproduct of having ancestry with monkeys, dog. But there's a certain level of sophistication that you got to say that with. Gullah just say we monkeys. Right? You get it, right?
Yes.
Right. He knows damn well that if he ain't sophisticated with that, it's going to match up with religious people that say we came from monkeys. Because the truth is, we don't come from monkeys, just like we don't come from fish. But if you check our anatomy, you will see the fish, you will see the monkey, you will see the great ape.
Correct.
Who the hell can we talk to about? That's the same thing with the Nile Valley conversation, bro. That's what I'm trying to get everybody to know. That the way we say shit, based off your education on the subject, you'll fuck it up.
So I want y'all to see something too.
Sure.
So we can have it in perspective of what I'm talking about. And this elephantini, this ain't no place close to the interior of Africa. That's still in North Africa, right? But keep it in perspective when we look over the map over here to the small
map. That's in
map.
North Africa, elephantines?
Yeah. Now look at this. Do you see this? Man. Do y'all see this? This water, which they call the Mediterranean.
Yeah, man.
Now, Egypt, if I go to the small map, if y'all can see my mouse, I'm going to where y'all see the big elephantini over here, and I'm right here. So you could get a perspective of where this is where Egypt was founded. So the fights was between people in this area and people from around this area as they propose, but they go no higher than the 8th nome, which is right outside of this bend of the Nile. So if we think about when they say north and south, they was talking about people right here and people right here, not people up here and people down there. What's up?
Hey, Smash. Gullah said, "Can you unmute him? He on here."
Oh, yeah. I just didn't unmute him. My bad.
I'm a mute myself. I'm sorry.
Word up. So, all right.
So you saying Lord? You talking about Lower Egypt is the Delta, right?
So, but you got to remember they hadn't unified Upper and Lower yet. Remember, right. They was fighting for it. So them two people was fighting, wasn't way up in Lower Egypt, and that's the key. Reggie say the red crown was found right in the 5th nome. So that means dude in the 5th nome was like, I'm red crown. You feel me? They had a smaller county or little thing that they was fighting for before they united it and moved north. But the ultimate goal of why I put the two maps is so people can see just how far away from the Mediterranean the actual unification of Egypt happened. It happened way down bordering the Sudan. I thought I opened up I thought I'd just let you in go.
Hey, Smash. You know another mistake everybody make working with that point? We think it was 100 million people in that motherfucker. Most of that shit went in.
Exactly. Especially when you go into the Sudan. People wasn't living People
Yo.
wasn't. They say the populations was way scarce compared to the populations up the river. Gullah.
We heard you, Gullah. Your phone.
Yeah, you got the flow.
Can I say something real quick?
You got the flow.
When I say when I like Mediterranean, I ain't talking about no Mediterranean race. That's race. That ain't no such thing, no Mediterranean race. But you do have Mediterranean cultures and Afro-Asian culture, especially according to Christopher Ehret, you know what I'm saying, through the North Uritric branch, they influenced the Mediterranean heavily. It wasn't nobody else there but Iberian Maroons. You know what I'm saying? Before that, you know, they was Mediterranean, but they infused with these groups in that area around 20,000 to 15,000 years ago, influencing even what we would consider Mediterranean culture today. If it wasn't for them North Uritric people, Mediterranean culture wouldn't have no flatbread to dip their olive oil in.
Exactly. So I mean, I don't know that to be exact, but I just said exactly to put a good stamp on the set. Imhotep, you can open up your mic or whatever you want. And I know that as far as I'm gonna do more food research from primary texts, but they look to the east for oils. They look to the south for things that could be spices or burned to smell good. But I can show you tons of texts where they're not going into the west for. I said the east for oils. I apologize. They look to the west for oils. Libya.
Yeah. How about Utria? Don't forget about Somali.
And so I'm just going off the text that I know I can pull up if somebody challenged me. You feel me?
Okay.
Yeah, they look to the south for like stuff like seasonings and incense as well. And to the east, as far as food, I don't have no references. Food would go out in that direction as a trade items and stuff. And I mean, y'all could, you know, we could go embark on another trail of our research. Yeah, next time you get unmuted, just don't remute yourself because I got it set up that way, Gullah, on purpose.
I like to follow the money though, Smash. If we follow the money, the money. What did they first get their money off of? What was the item that was used to bring the Ghana a lot of money? That would be the foundation of what we will call quote unquote Egypt.
But they wasn't really doing money till later times. You know what I'm saying?
No. I mean, no. When I say money, you get my point. Like
gold.
Gotta have
Is that what you mean?
Nah, it wasn't even gold yet.
What you talking about?
Motherfuckers, the microliths, the microlith technology.
Explain.
It's the microlith technology. They got these whole cities where they just producing microliths, right? Had a lot of surplus of them, right? These microliths are essential for cutting down wild grains, right? So before you farming, the shit is already grown.
You talking about like Flintstones and stuff?
Yeah, Flint. Yeah, they call them microliths. You can use them to cut down wild grains, right? And then grinding stones.
You talking about the back blades? You talking about the back blade?
Yes. That's the shit they got money off of first, and that gave them a surplus to be able to start building, and then you would get the farming later on. But that's down in Abydos. That's my favorite spot. Abydos, Abju. That's why my company's named Abju. So they got the microlith technology down there. I can pull the archaeological record on that, and this would be one of the first industries.
Yeah, Abydos is actually where the pharaonic, you know what I'm saying, the what we call the pharaonic era, you know what I'm saying, was created out of there. You know what I'm saying, out of Nakata 1 in the Abydos era.
So a lot
which
of
is
that,
a Nubian transplant. Which is a Nubian transplant, though, Smash.
It definitely is, but a lot of that is also conjected. That's conjected, Gullah. You know that, right?
You said what now?
That is conjected. It's conjecture because they have not found Thinis yet. So we really don't know where Thinis is. And so
but if you look up the more recent works from Maria Gatto in that Oxford Egyptian Handbook, which is printed 2020, they say the oldest, you know what I'm saying, of Nakata was found in Abydos for the pharaonic. At first they was going with Skahoo, but Skahoo thing, so they found that was more of a combination of A group and Nakata group, like a fusion, like its own unification. going on there with different
Yeah, I'm
cultures.
familiar with that. I know you know.
And that was actually Nakata 3. That was from Nakata 3, but they found some older in Abydos from Nakata 1. And they going with the Abydos areas being the founding areas. You know, so even in the area book, the new area book, he talks about that area.
I'm familiar with that. Set Imhotep. You was about to say something?
Yeah, well, two things. First, I was wondering if interior of Africa is some kind of like industry term that I wasn't aware of, because I was only using interior of Africa in contrast to like on the coast of Africa. So you say it's like nowhere near the interior, and I'm kind of confused about that.
Oh, no. Okay, I got you. Go ahead.
Yeah, and then separately, I wanted to ask, well, Corey's not here anymore, but maybe Brother Gullah, Brother Nkosi, like, and also maybe Brother Ankh, what were the Mediterranean culture influences on, maybe not even necessarily the founding of Egypt, but like on Egypt entirely, just so that I could know after today.
What you mean? Like the Egyptian world was part of that. Like they like the ancestors of the Egyptians what created what we would call the Mediterranean world. It wasn't for Afro-Asiatic people or populating that region. You wouldn't have no Mediterranean culture. When you talking about Greece and all that, that's Aegean. That's Aegean part of the Mediterranean.
It sound like you're saying that's African influence on the Mediterranean. I was asking the other way around now, because if we're saying that ancient Egypt is a
think about it. Who was there? Who was there 15,000 years ago? Iberian Maurutians. It wasn't nobody. It wasn't no agricultural. It wasn't even. You didn't even have the Neolithic in the Southern Europe yet. So the Afro-Asian niggas was the Mediterraneans. They created that shit. They the first niggas.
I don't know if it's listening comprehension on my part that caused any problem, right? I'm not necessarily asking what did we do or Africans do. I shouldn't even say we, Africans do to influence Mediterranean. That's not what I'm asking. I'm saying if we're saying, because all right, so SSmashrock showed where the culture.
I'm saying the Africans been part of the Mediterranean from the beginning. So it ain't like you separating shit like.
Yeah, but that doesn't make. So all right, so them having founded Mediterranean cultures that actually on the Mediterranean, in other places doesn't make their founding of Egypt Mediterranean. So are you saying that just because we founded all those other Mediterranean civilizations, that as soon as Egypt touched the Mediterranean, automatically? Let me finish the question now. 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 Yeah, but let me finish the question now. Yeah, dig. Yeah, so I'm saying, are you saying that because we would have founded all of the other Mediterranean civilizations, I'm taking your word for that. I'm saying, are you saying that as soon as Egypt started to touch the Mediterranean, it automatically became a Mediterranean culture because it touched in the Mediterranean and we founded all the others. So whatever we do here is also a Mediterranean culture. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, Mediterranean culture is more than one culture, but Egyptians or the ancestors of the Egyptians were the people who was the foundation of what that culture became anyway.
But I already gave you that, I already gave you that. I already gave you that part.
Even the Egyptians was the first. Egyptians was the first.
Hey, Mr. Rich, you gotta come off mute.
They're the first people to name it.
I bet.
Come off mute, Mr. Rich. I want to know as you hearing all these sound bites. I'm over here sampling away.
Hey, Smash.
Huh?
You think that's wrong what he said?
No, I don't think that's wrong. I think it's right, and I'm glad that he's saying it.
No, I'm saying y'all didn't know there wasn't no damn Mediterranean.
Who you mean y'all? Come on, I knew.
Right. But it's important to clear this up, yo. People misuse this shit to make it seem like there's some outside.
Chief X misuse it.
Right. Yeah, it's such and such.
And the Levant is the Eastern Mediterranean. You gotta be Pacific. When we talking about Levant, that's the Eastern Mediterranean.
Yeah, like I think you said it, Smash. Ain't no damn people that all right, let me ask y'all this question, and I'm gonna let everybody rock. Question. Are we saying now the population are we saying that the population that will populate now just was strictly in the South? What are we saying?
I know you didn't know.
How was it now?
I know you didn't know.
I know. I'm gonna bring a map to show. I'm asking y'all, what y'all thinking?
Right, say that one more time.
I'm saying the river is 4,100 miles.
How was it populated? Was it populated from a southern, northerly
I could
direction?
tell you, we just studied that when I was getting my certificate, and so they postulate that the populations in the areas that could not carve out a floodplain was much lower, and it would force people into the desert. So they would say at the height when Egypt was at 5 million, that what we would call Nubia or the Sudan would be at about 400,000 in the whole of it. And so if we would stretch that out through Kerma and everything, we would see a big difference in, because everybody wanted to go up to the floodplain, which was Kemet. Go ahead.
No, I mean, when they coming out of the Sahara, they come out of different. I'm saying when the weather changed.
Oh, you talking about in that earlier time period?
Yeah.
Oh,
right,
it will be a lot smaller, but let's just take those numbers in comparison. You know, a lot of the 5 million compared to 500,000 would be after it grew. So, but you still would think it would be still, you know, skewed in a bit because of the geography of Nubia. But I don't remember them saying no numbers for ancient times. I don't think there's no way they could calculate that.
No, but I'm saying where like there's different entry points. Remember, there is no fence that's only open in the northern region and the southern Egypt. People actually come in from the western and east, Ethiopia, all those areas. They all migrating towards the Nile. We got the maps to show that. We got the actual maps and archaeological sites where the actual archaeological sites are.
Yeah, but so don't forget your the Tigris and the Euphrates. You remember? And so they had those two other rivers that would keep them in that area if they wanted to. But you're 100% correct. When you go to, so the dudes in the Levant had like the River Jordan. We're talking about fresh water sources. So they had the River Jordan. And I know some of the Hebrews could mention some of the other rivers because the Mediterranean was insignificant to them too because they couldn't drink out of it. So go ahead, Aunt.
So yeah, that's a minimum amount of people coming from there. We see no archaeological record, right? And what they would call the Sinai at that time period.
They found that it was more of a combination of A group and the Kana group, like
a. You about to make something about that, boy.
Oh yeah. I want to say too. You got you don't just have the Mediterranean. So you got what they call the Mediterranean basin or Mediterranean region too. You know what I'm saying? That stretches outside where you have flora and fauna. You know what I'm saying? That's indigenous to what they call the Mediterranean climate or Mediterranean region and ecosystem. You know, even according to Christopher Ehret, during the Heliocene period, he said you had an ethno, you know what I'm saying, regional thing going on, even though of course it overlapped, but you had like dominant cultures in particular areas. You know what I'm saying, even though it crossed areas. Yeah, but they utilizing these elements from these flora and fauna. That's the whole point. No.
Yeah, I'm gonna show this map. I want to kind of show something here. There's a very good lecture on that. And I think it's just important to continue to be able to document and support, the conversation. It's very, very important. So let me see. I'll just put a piece of that. Let me see if I can share the thing real fast. All right, let me see if I can share my daggone screen. Let me see. Share photos. Go selected 3.
We got a question for Gozi, but Gozi has left the panel, unfortunately. So share your screen, brother Aunt.
Am I sharing it now?
Not yet.
I see. Show selected add. I'm gonna add it. Can y'all see it?
Yeah, now we see it.
Okay.
You know, when you're doing it like this and you got a long portrait, turn your phone to the side and it'll be better.
Okay. You see it?
Yeah, there you go. It popped up fat now.
All right. So listen. 6th to 5th millennium BCE, end of the Green Sahara, increased aridization, a contraction of human groups to the Nile Valley, mobility, unorganized migrations of small groups, knowledge transfer, trade, and exchange. Now we talk about the go ahead.
And so now I'm just saying I'm back. This and Gozy, I'm back. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
All right. So yeah, look at that. Look at that circle right there, and it's showing you how to. We thinking these long range migrations. You know, people just migrating in they earth. You might go, 300 miles or 100 miles. It was a long ass move in those time periods, bro. Right? Like you look at the Red Sea. Look at so the green is what we will be that that Tel El.
Yeah.
So you see where them people come from, right?
And the yellow, hold on, I just want to interject. They make me a blackologist, blood. I agree with all of this. Them people from the left could have came from the left. Them people from the right came from the right. Yeah. What I need y'all to agree is down on that purple is where Egypt was founded. And then we all good. It ain't no big
but
deal.
Everybody know. Wait a minute. We know that it's a transplant. It's a Sudanese transplant that we make up in the collar, yo.
Thank you.
We don't gotta argue like we want. It's like, look at the blue. So now we don't gotta argue where the people came from. Everybody leave out the people coming from the Red Sea. It's Smash. You already know what kind of graves is over there. Mm-hmm. We already know them pan graves. We already know. So now the conversation is okay. Which cultural items? Where did they come from? So between that goddamn red, that purple. And that damn blue, and then go under that, that's where the grave shits come from. Matter of fact, you can't even see that. That's Khartoum. The Khartounian culture is where the oldest graves that match up with these later graves in Upper Egypt. Right? With the oldest ones is in Khartoum. They got the same shit, the body paint, the body ornament, the rocks, the beads, right? All these things in there, right? So the kingship, now y'all can start adding what y'all want to add, but I like these elements. I like burial practices. Egypt is based off of burial practice. I like to talk about the cattle, Mother Hathor, right? I like to talk about the graves, and that's my piece to the conscious community. Y'all can
Gozy, put a comment in my chat so I can make you a moderator.
All right. Somebody asked a question. You said
they asked you a question about.
What they said?
I'm gonna go back. Okay. Unless
you
see
the hands
question.
Right there smashed on the screen.
I see the hands. I see the hands.
Okay, so now let's just get this out of the way. Then we get the Ngozi question. Right? Look. So what are we talking about? What are we talking about? So we need to knock it off. That those light brown hands is just an Egyptian. It's the dark brown hands.
If somebody fighting against that, they lightweight retarded.
Well, they stay lightweight retarded. Anyway, go ahead. Find the question. I just wanted to show y'all that y'all want to exclude all the other shit, which is crazy, man. Like,
I think you're going back to that skin map argument, huh? Okay, I'm puzzled. I'm trying to keep track of the dialogue. That's what you was referencing then, right there. Because who would act like everybody just gotta look like dude at the bottom?
That's what they doing. That's the whole argument. It doesn't make sense. That these people are naked, bro. Like, we keep looking at temples. Most people are naked in Egypt. The pharaonic shit is the temple. It's people live. You got people live in the city, right, near the temples. The majority of people live in the outskirts. They be spread it around.
So,
and they don't have on clothes.
But on and the proportions to the map, they did push that black hand down hella far. But I'm joking. What I really speak against is when they only put, because some people only put two hands on the map. That's what I'm trying to say. They say people say Egypt is only made up of the top two hands, and I'll be like,
no, that's
now
a
y'all
lie.
tripping.
That's not true. It's not, because we go back to this again. We go back to that. Look. And okay, look at the bend. You see that bend? Look at the bend. Go back. Look at the bend. You see it? Mm-hmm. You see it, Smash?
Mm-hmm.
So hold on. Upper Egypt is dark to brown skinned niggas. How about that? Let's just say that.
And
I'm gonna step
Smash.
out on the line right there, Smash. And they the ones that the dark and light, the dark browns. The dark brown people beat up the light skinned people.
Nah,
That's what
man,
happened.
come on. Now, somebody gonna think you telling the truth. Hold
But
on.
here's the thing, though, Smash. But there's just the thing, Smash. If you look at the region today, this is what you see. This is how they look today.
Yeah.
In the north, they're lighter.
I'm not mad
In
at
the south,
that.
they're dark.
That's why they say when you go to Aswan, you see more black people, right?
So right when you go south, yes. So here's the thing. This is my argument. And people don't understand in Gozi. I don't know what people think. I just seen somebody say the dumbest shit in the world.
That's why I tried to make you a moderator in case you be wanting to erase some of that bullshit.
But he said, but they try to do this divide and conquer shit. They say I ride with Gullah over in. First of all, me and Gullah saying the same shit. Y'all just don't understand what I'm saying. And in Gozi I'm so quick with it. I say shit 4 years ahead and y'all don't get it. That's not my fault. What I'm trying to say is that what you see right here that Unc shows is what you see in that area or country today. In the north, they're lighter. They call them wheat, or they can be highly olive light. Then they get tan. Then they get darker. This is what you see in the area today. So to say that the modern population are something different or transplants, that's where we have that's where the argument comes in at. The people in Egypt today are just as African as any other African. That's all I'm saying.
I got a question for you, Gozi. I got a question, Gozi.
Yes, sir.
Hawaus says that the Upper Egyptians, what skin color do he say the Upper Egyptians are? We're talking about Hawaus, the nigga they hate. What he say?
Zawi Hawass, when a lady asked him a question, he said the ancient Egyptians were dark, but he said they were dark. He said they were dark, but they were not nigger. But what he was trying to say, because people tried to misunderstand him, they were not Negroid, Congoid. He was talking about
said nigga though.
We ain't trying to misunderstand him.
Well, we gotta say English ain't his first language. Let's just give people a benefit of a doubt.
Right, but the Middle Eastern world, he said nigger. He said nigger. He said they were dark, but they were not nigger.
But this is what I'm saying. If he know nigger is offensive, he wasn't trying to, he don't speak. He speak Arabic, so he probably was just. I'm not giving a nigga no pass.
Man, how he know that word nigga? How he know the word nigga?
Y'all do know Negro mean black, though,
That's
right?
what I'm saying. He
meant
Negro.
He said nigga. He said nigga.
Yeah, but the word mean black.
But was he talking about like Niger?
Yeah, what he was trying to say is the typical taxonomy of what they used to label as Congoid groups. He said, but their morphology. Listen to how he said. He said they were dark, but their morphology was not nigger. They did not have big nose. That's what and big lips. Listen to how he was trying to describe it. So he was trying to describe what Shamaka Keita described. He was saying the ones that they were Ethio-Somali type. Shamaka Keita says Ethio-Somali. He was saying that they were narrow aquiline feature dark people. That's what they were saying, the same shit, just different ways of saying it.
All right, man. All of those is good. It be the people like the Europeans online say no black people was in Egypt. You got to remember. So again, the ones who say the Egyptians were black, they're crossing the line because they're being totalitarians. There were black Egyptians, and then everybody cool. Shit, it was all kind of Egyptians.
Smash, that's when we get confused though, because now we're going back to the days of Adolf Hitler. Where we bring up those racial constructs. So if we're gonna have a skin color argument, So if we're gonna have a skin color argument, which clearly show you that where the brunt that made Egypt, that won the war, the Unification War, these was dark, the dark brown people. No matter what y'all say. Because the head of the Egyptian antiquities fucking said it. Because the skin map fucking says it, not because we run our mouth. So for me, I understand skin color and not to confuse it with a wild ass concept called race. See, I understand the difference. So if we looking for the dark to brown, yep. And if you say outside light skinned people, you're a liar and you're a scammer, because the Brooklyn Museum clearly says, they say it just like this. You can quote me. No light skinned outside people started Egypt. There you go. I'm done. I rest my case.
And we could bring that one to a close and swing to something else. So go ahead, Set Imhotep. Babylon Don, we ain't heard from you either, or Mr. Rich.
It's kind of on the same topic, but kind of not. I just wanted to know, like, where were the population centers in ancient Egypt? I guess that might be kind of moot if we're talking about the whole 3,000 years, but like, if anybody knows at any period, where would he meet?
The modern population is the ancient population.
No. So that's not. I'm not asking about population types. I just want to know where were people. That's all I want to know. Like, were they predominantly on the Nile? Were they predominantly on the Delta? Were they more in cities? Were they more roaming?
But Gozi, when you say that though, it ignores like some of the modern population. I would have to agree, but you can't argue that the whole modern population was the ancient population. That would just not make no sense because some of them wasn't. Like so you gotta speak towards the nuance that the subject deserves.
According to the data that's presented. When the Arabs came in, according to the data that's presented, this is what I'm saying, brother Smash. Everybody got an element to add on. Now, according to the data that's presented, it was not a large influx. Even when Arabs came in 641 AD, they only dominated the elites, not the overall population. When the Greeks came in 332 BC, they practiced incest highly, and they didn't even really breed with outside. I mean, when Cleopatra was born, I think she was the third. She was the first out of the Ptolemaics to start trying to identify or decipher the glyphs. So they didn't really breed outside of that. So they really didn't have a large input or a genetic signature on the populations. Most of the populations on an autosomal level only receive genetics at 17%. But the trick about the Arabs is this. Arabs had a whole old genetic signature that was very closer to the ancient Egyptians anyway, that Natufian-like signal. Even though the Arabs have a component that's Neolithic Iranian, they still brought in something that was already old, that was close, that split from ancient North Africa a long time ago. We ain't talking about that.
They can't handle that, Gozy. That's some deep. That's some you better know. I know exactly what you're saying. And guess what? Everybody leaving out.
What's that?
Guess why everybody said it's not the modern problem. Y'all leaving out cars. That's CAR, clothing, and suntan lotion. And don't forget air conditioning. Y'all leaving that out. And you leaving out how skin color can change back and forth. Y'all leaving all that shit out when y'all look at the modern Egyptians. So add that to y'all equation.
But again, I really was just asking, like, where was the main, like, how maybe Los Angeles is a population center in California, and then it mightn't have bigger population centers in the rural areas. That's really what I'm asking. Like, where did people live? In ancient Egypt, were they like lying by the Nile?
No,
they lived near the farms. They weren't living near the temple.
Closer to the water, the better, basically. But people did live in the desert.
But most people weren't living, let me say, in the cities. So you got to remember, on their own farmsteads and whatever.
So to everybody else's point, and I also like to offer what I know about both sides. The Fayum is a leftover lake from the Green Sahara. So just think about it. If you did live in the Green Sahara in the Fayum, let's keep it clear, the Fayum is also like a 30-mile run from Memphis. So it's not like we talking hella far over. Yeah. But if you do the data on the Fayum, that maybe I could mess that up, or maybe it was from when Egypt, when the Nile flowed much bigger. Is one of the twos. If it ain't left over from the Green Sahara, then I should just shut up because my point is mute. So let me look that up real quick.
Hold on, what's left over from the Green Sahara?
Some of the, because it was a big ass lake to the east of Egypt called Merois, but I think I might have messed it up.
What about Wadi Hall? That's a damn lake that actually a tributary that emptied into the Nile in the south. So you got rivers that actually connect to the Nile in the south where people was coming out in the Green Sahara. Yeah, so those populations didn't make a right, go all the way down south, then get in that fence and travel down. But no, they just came to the water, yo. We gotta have an imagination here, man. Oh my God, man.
Oh yeah, I ain't wrong. I'm not wrong, man. Dang, I be knowing I ain't that wrong. So I forgot what it was called, but if I start messing up, I start to retract because I don't want nobody to beat me up. But let me show you this.
Yo, you can be wrong. Yo, you can change.
Yo, I know, but I don't like to be known for disseminating bad information. So look, they talking about the Fayum Oasis though, and it says a depression in the basin of the desert, immediately west of the Nile River, 62 miles south of Cairo, Egypt, and it says the extent of the basin area is estimated between 1,270 kilometers, 490 miles, and blah blah blah. The basin floor comprises fields watered by a channel of the Nile. Well, I just want to go into where they say that this oasis might have been a leftover lake thing. So it says the drainage water flowed from this old basin into Lake Morowith. So that's the Lake of Fayum right now. So it would not be accidentally, all the way pseudo to say that them people could have remained there since then. But let's see what they say. Eventually, the Nile bed sided up hollow to let the Nile periodically flow into the Fayum hollow, forming a lake. So they saying the Fayum, the lake is first recorded at 3000 BC in the time of Menes and Narmer. Well, again, I know that this area did go back to a longer time period, but they say that after they dried up, water from the Nile flowed into it. But what I was about to propose is maybe there was some contingency of people since way back then who still stayed in the area. We always got to think about those things too, but I'll surrender.
It's wet though. No, the area is actually wet. That's why they don't have a good archaeological record. So I always say, yo, till they find it, they don't have it. It's wet. Like you said, it's marsh, kind of, sort of.
Interesting.
Yeah. Anyway, now we got that out the way. The confusion when we try to introduce, and so I think lately the fight been, well, what is African? All of a sudden now, you know that the museums and everybody just saying they're Africans, and African Americans share 70% signature of indigenous Africans. 70%. And between 40 to 30%, outside DNA. So everybody know what the hell we mean when we say African. We don't mean just one damn African, right? We saying continental niggas all over the continent, whether that be the light-skinned niggas, at least for me, right? At least for me. I'm saying Africans.
Hey, let me ask y'all a question. Y'all still see that map on the screen? And so when we doing just this is kind of on the subject, but kind of off. But I want to ask y'all, so Oasis, we know that as an area that it should be water there, and it looked like, no, that's a mirage, huh? So
No.
So
Oasis is a area with plants and water.
But this is what I'm saying. But is the water there, or did it used to be water there for an oasis? Is the water there?
If you see what I'm saying? There now, it's still there.
So if you see an oasis, the water is there, and if you see a mirage of an oasis, you thought it looked like it was water there.
Yeah,
but
that's
the
a
water
mirage.
is,
it's not.
It's dried up.
Yeah, it's not. No, it's just not there.
Well, let's look up Oasis just to bring some clarity to it, even though we all know what it is.
All right, go ahead.
But hey, I'm just gonna do this right now. Did I spell it wrong? OASIS.
That's it.
That's correct. Yeah.
All right, definition. DEF.
Right there, bang.
Let's see. Now it says a fertile spot in the desert where water is found, but it don't mean do water have to be there. It says a type of rigid foam into which the steams of a flower can be. That's something different. So basically, water got to be there.
Yeah, that's the only thing that make the ground fertile is you got water added to the minerals. Because you're in a desert area, your shit ain't gonna grow without no water.
Yeah, I'm with that. I mean, yeah, that's how we understand it. I'm just was wondering. Well, that even makes the point I'm trying to make stronger. Because if these was all oases in the desert of fresh water, we would have to just logically assume that these people had no problem with having to migrate to Kemet or nothing. They ain't had to do that until these oases dried up, which now they're not like there no more. You see what I'm saying? And right. So my point would be if we lived in the Badaria oasis and we needed access to fresh water and ours didn't dry up while everybody else's was doing, then we may still be the same people around this lake since ancient times. Well, I was trying to put that forward about the Fayum to give the other side of the argument some credence. That, well, if the Fayum had an oasis, that indeed was there, but they said it got there at 3000 BC. So then we wouldn't be able to push that back further than that. Even though we know it was people in the region before 3000 BC, I was just talking about my point. But look, we passed the 3-hour mark that I like to hit on my show. So who want to close out or give us some of the final words as we wind this thing down?
I want to.
Anybody, everybody, come on. I want to hear from y'all. What y'all think?
I actually came onto the show today. I wanted to put you in contact with a dictionary. I don't know if you know about it, the Vocalized Ancient Egyptian or something like that. It came out 2022. You familiar with it?
A vocalized dictionary. Now share the link in the
Yeah.
chat.
I did. It's supposed to be at the very top of the chat. The first message.
Appreciate you. Let me see.
Right. It's free. It's open source. And basically what the postulation is of the author is that there are a number of, we call it glyphs in ancient Egyptian that seem to represent either two vowel sounds at once, a consonant and a vowel, or two consonant sounds together in one glyph now. I haven't finished reading through it, but I wanted to put it in your hands because I figured that even if I had read through it, you might be able to understand it better than I would in any case.
Let me ask you a question. I know you studying the metal nature and following what we've been doing on my show and in other places, but do you have actual text to supplement your studies from videos? Like, do you have any books?
Well, I have some of the Gardner books. I have I have some books, yeah.
Yeah, because that right there, that's something, that's an elementary. No, I'm just saying that's something you will read on the first few pages of one of those books. You know what I'm saying? About it's not like no phenomena, unless I misunderstood the way you were describing it, about some of the glyphs having representing multiple consonants.
Well, all right, I'm gonna pull it up in a second. I'll let somebody else go first, but I'll pull it up in a second so I can share my screen and you'll be able to see.
So you know about biliterals, right? So that ain't what they was talking about, you mean?
Nah, it's more like like how PH together is not puh, it's fu. Like something like that.
Oh, okay, so vocalization. The vocalization. Yeah, I hear you. Yeah. So you basically saying when they see the I also spoke towards this and I'm glad you pulled it out. You saying when they see the DG in the front of the capital D that we should say jet, like Jedi type of thing, forming the J or losing and making the D silence is the study just focusing on the cluster vocalization like that.
I think so. Well, I wouldn't want to use any particular letters, but like how in English, the DJ would be a DJ. Like that. But specifically the PH.
I'm with that. Yeah, I misunderstood you. My bad, because I was like, I know you know about biliterals.
Yeah. Because I was like, wait, did I really come and embarrass myself here? Boy?
No, you know about that. That was me thinking they was talking about something else. Anybody else? Mr. Rich, okay.
I just wanted to, can I say something?
Yeah, you got the floor.
Mr. Rich going next.
You got the floor.
Yo.
Yeah, what's up, Smash? I just want to say one thing. I'll ask a question. I just want to be clear on the people from Nakada started Egypt. Am I correct?
They said it was a fight between Nakada and another group. They think that was another group from the south. So yeah, that would be right in Egyptology. Yeah.
Okay, so we're saying that those people are the modern Egyptians. That's what we're saying.
No, I'm not saying that.
I can answer your
I
question.
just want to be clear on that one.
Yes,
I'm saying it.
Yeah, I'm saying
it too.
Yes.
So the modern Egyptians was the people of Nakada?
No, the Egyptians though.
The Egyptians.
No. But I didn't say that. I want to see. I'm talking about the indigenous people from Nakada.
So
that's not fair, yo.
Yeah, he beating y'all up. He kind of got you, So told you how it ain't fair though. It ain't fair. How come it ain't fair?
No, that's not fair because it's misrepresentation. Go ahead.
No, all right.
Hold on. I'm gonna answer your question. Yes, they are, bro. Yes. If you look at according to the available information that's put out there, the Nakada was close to the Nubian A group. The Nubian A group was a little bit more distinct than the Nubian C group. So what I'm trying to say is in morphology, according to the skull types that has been found from them, it fits. Hold on, listen. Hold on.
See, when you said the modern Egyptians, you wasn't talking about nobody who morphology fit the Nubian A group.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Hold on. You won't let me finish. You asked a question and I'm trying to answer it. In craniometrics, their skull lines up with the populations in Upper Egypt today. They still fit in line with the population that's there today.
Oh, so man. Hey, what's up with craniometrics?
That's what I was asking.
I thought when we do morphology, that's
hold on. No,
I thought when we use
no.
morphology,
The
that's
rate. No,
scientific.
listen. I'm trying to
Black
answer
people
your
are very
question.
weak.
If
They're
that,
getting
that
weaker by the day.
You're right, Go. They're not going to
They're
understand.
getting weaker by the day.
they're not because
I promise.
he not. He on some. Listen, I'm not even putting it in the top. I'm
asking a
not even.
question, yo.
Hold
I
on.
mean,
I'm trying to answer it, and you won't let me answer it because it's not coming
no,
out the
but
way you
you said
want
I'm
it.
not gonna understand.
So let me.
it. Y'all
Okay.
said I'm not gonna
Well,
understand
hold on. Let me answer it. Let me answer it fully.
Mr. Rich.
The racism comes in when you try to put banners like Negroid and Caucasoid in there, right? But when you separate that, I'm just using that as a descriptive term. When you look at the skull types of the Nakata and the Nubian A groups, it fits with populations in those areas today. And their morphology will not fit in a taxon with the population that you and me descend from. That's what I'm trying to say. And I'm being factual with that. The population that we descend from in skull metrics will fit in with populations in Central and West Africa. Now, because we receive some admixture and evolution does not stop. We do have people amongst us like Kobe Bryant, who has a specific morphology that wouldn't sit in with the typical population you see in certain areas. We have outliers. But what I'm trying to say is outside of those outliers, the populations according to the Nakata skulls and the populations that was there, and I don't give a damn who likes it and not. I'm not talking about you, brother. I'm talking about the audience. They have a problem with accepting the diversity of our continent. That's the issue.
Now let me ask you a question. So the people of Nakata, where the people from Nakata came from?
They came from there. They're from their area. They're from their region. They're from Africa.
Okay.
They're from Northeast Africa.
Homegrown. Africa.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
Yes.
I know you didn't know. I know you didn't know.
You gotta bring that study.
I want to get this clear too. The Neolithic Levantines, not the middle phase of a Levantine population or the Bronze Age, they also were partially ancient Egyptian hunter-gatherers that crossed from North Africa and went over there and mixed with something called the Cambrians, who split from Basal Eurasians. Now, I have Razib Khan on guard. I have Razib Khan, and I caught his ass on purpose. When I asked him the question, where did the Basal Eurasians split from? He said that they split from North Africa. So how about that? So even the early Neolithic Levantines came from out of North Africa.
Okay, now again, so I just want to be clear. The people from Nakata,
yes,
the indigenous people of Nakata who started, you know what I'm saying, Egypt.
Yes.
They that's the modern Egyptian.
They fit in line with them, yes, especially in Upper Egypt.
They fit in line with them, but we don't really know. They didn't
Mr. Rich, you leaving out you leaving out air conditioned suntan lotion, cars.
You wish you never had said
it's just that simple, yo. Y'all is wild with that.
You wish you never had said no shit like that.
You leaving it all out, nigga. You listen to them motherfuckers saying,
how much
God damn, they look white as a motherfucker.
No, they can't be the same people.
No,
all that fucking change they had,
Mr. Rich,
all the admixtures y'all talking about.
Hey, Mr. Rich, I promise you, yo.
I know you didn't know.
Hey, Mr. Rich,
I know you didn't know.
If you put in your equation suntan lotion, air conditioning, and clothes and cars, nigga, you will understand what I'm saying, yo.
When did they get clothes? When did they get clothes, bro?
Hey, yo, if you give the ancient Egyptians clothes, suntan lotion, racism, white supremacy to make you look like you white, nigga, they gonna look like they look today.
How about the admission you guys keep talking about?
Oh, no, that's not enough. Samantha Kiata said that's not enough.
Mr. Rich.
I hear Ank's argument. I finally got Ank's argument what you're saying about the clothes and the air conditioning.
Yeah, man.
I mean, that makes a little bit of sense, but you taking that a little bit far. You saying clothes and the air conditioning gonna turn a black African to a white person?
Mr. Rich.
Right.
No, what about racism, Smash? Hey, Smash, hold on, y'all. Let me make this point. I'm gonna shut the fuck up. What about racism to make everybody want to look European? What about that part? The way you dress, the way you wear your makeup and all that, make you look European, yo. What about women that wear straight hair and clearly of African descent? That's all Europeanizing themselves. So when you look at an indigenous Egyptian, you're looking at a modernized, Europeanized
air conditioning,
Yeah, I'm not mad.
suntan lotion, and car purchase.
But you
That's
keep
all I'm
saying
trying
stuff
to
like air conditioning, suntan
Smash.
lotion and shit, but you won't say invasions and incursions and people living there for thousands of years. That would affect their
Yeah, that's
skin
not
color
enough
too,
though,
right?
Smash. You right, but that's not enough though, Smash.
But all of the things that we put together, put what I said with what you said. Let's work together real quick.
Go ahead, Smash. Throw that in.
Yeah, let's all put all that together, and all that help to make them lighter.
Like African Americans, right, Smash?
Yeah, exactly. Go ahead, Gozy. You got the flow. My bad.
Yeah, but that's hey, Gozy. Tell him it's been that way from the beginning, though. Explain that to Smash.
Mixing is what humans do, regardless, especially when you're in close proximity with other groups. We're all people, so that you can't deny that. So it's been like that since the beginning, in inception of Egypt. And here's the thing: we cannot say an invading force came into the area. But I mean, we can say that, but we can't say
what?
That. We can't say. Hold on, listen. Let me explain what I'm trying to say. If we follow and look at the phylogenetic tree of the Y chromosome of indigenous people of that area, they are still concentrated from the original base population source. They are EM78. So if anything invaded them, it probably was a bunch of women invaded them, because only their mitochondrial DNA is highly foreign from outside of the continent. The Y chromosome of the typical Egyptian is haplogroup EM78. So if they were a result of invasion, why don't they have a high amount of Y chromosomes from outside? Like, for example, Arabs are usually haplogroup J to the highest amount. People in Egypt are haplogroup EM78 in the form of EB1Q to the highest amount. The northern Sudanese are more haplogroup J and Arab transplants paternally than the modern Egyptians. The modern Egyptians are more African than the modern northern Sudanese, as dark as they are. Did you know that? Did you know that? People are ready to see the whole.
Wait, since you can use Y chromosomal DNA to determine. I thought you all don't say on different shows that Y chromosomal DNA is like a real small part of DNA, or whatever.
Hold on. It is small, but I want you to understand something. Well, look, for example, hold on. I'm going to use us for example. Most Africans in the diaspora, from America to where you from in the Caribbean, we are largely 70 to 60% sub-Saharan African Y chromosome E. And we're largely at 40 to 30% haplogroup R1b from Europeans who raped into our people.
You're blocking your mic a little bit.
Okay. You say what?
You're blocking your mic a little bit.
Okay, so what I'm saying is, when you look at the African Americans, from the Americans to the Caribbeans, I'm talking about all of us as Africans in the diaspora, our Y chromosome ranges from 60 to 70% E1B1A, and then the other percentage would be R1B from Europeans that introgress happened through whatever happened, right? You can see our history. When it comes to Egypt, their Y chromosome developed right there. EM78 is a clade of EM35, from EM68 to EM78.
Wake up!
And it's aboriginal to North Sudan and Upper Egypt. It formed right there. So most of the Egyptian people, as light as they are, is Y chromosome E. The only reason why the human leukoantigens change and the autosomal DNA change is because the reception of women that they kept breeding with. So, for example,
you wish you never had said no shit.
If you look at, I'm gonna use Drake for example. Drake dad looks a certain way, right? Right.
That's the point, Black Alchemy. I keep going. You said Drake dad did the certain way. I was playing my sound effects, and said he was saying, "You wish you never had said no shit like that." But keep going. Keep going.
Hold on. I'm trying to tap this knot. Hold on one second. I'm trying to tap.
Oh yeah, your phone went out to the back. They can't hear you now.
Oh, okay. What I'm trying to say is, okay, so we're going to use Drake, for example. So Drake, right? Drake's father is an African-American male. I mean, Drake, Canada, right? Drake's father is possibly E1B1A. We know what Drake's father looked like. I'm going to put him in the 70 percentile. What up? That's E1B1A from African-American. He's from Tennessee. His Y chromosome, I'm postulating, is E1B1A. Drake's father mixed with a Jewish woman that produced Drake, right? So Drake is probably about 40-something% sub-Saharan African, because his father, he's like the average African American. He ranges from 70 to 80% sub-Saharan African, and his Y chromosome is E1B1A. He mixed with a Jewish lady that decreases the sub-Saharan African genes, so we get Drake. Drake turned around and mixed with a French porn star. We know about his situation. You know that. So now he got this little boy. Now let's say this little boy, Y chromosome is E1B1A, but autosomally speaking, he's highly Western European. Because Drake is partially that from Central European, from the Ashkenazi Jewish lady that his mom is. Then his mom and then his mom is a French lady. So that means that down the line, we see this in a small generation of time, less than 200 years. Do we see this happen within a small generation of time? You have white boys or people that's highly European that may have a paternal line as E1B1A from some nigga from the Congo, some motherfucking well. So what I'm trying to say is that
I had to give you a hand clap for that, family. I mean, I'll be happy to put the other music behind you, but you earned a hand clap, so go ahead.
So what I'm saying is, with the people in Egypt, EM78 developed with Omaka type people that was indigenous to that portion of Africa. Then it goes up and it mixed continuously with populations from outside. The first phase, Neolithic Levantines, who were Cambrian groups that split off from Basal Eurasians that split from the Northeast African corridor. The second phase, Bronze Age Chalcolithic populations. These people were receiving more women signals and dominance than male signals because their Y chromosome is still consistent. So that changes the human leukoantigens and it changes the autosomal DNA or the DNA composition. So when you look at modern populations there now, it would say Middle Eastern North African because the genetic continuity has been going on for thousands of years, but that paternal line is still intact, which is that YAP marker that still bonds it with the rest of the continent of Africa. The S associate protein or the ALU gene, they are more concentrated in their paternal lines as haplogroup E than populations in northern Sudan who receive signals from Arabs. They gave them that J marker at a higher percentile. You get what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Right on. Yo, I went well over my time, y'all, and I know this will go on forever. But I want to thank everybody for contributing again as we wind this down. Who want to say the final? Go ahead.
I don't get the closing statement, yo.
Go on and close it out. Thanks to everybody. We're going to let Bobby Banger close this out.
Yo, peace out.
Peace.
The largest forced migration or the largest migration of human beings on planet Earth was the transcontinental slave trade.
That's what I'm
saying.
I'm over my time, y'all. Hold on, somebody got their phone open or something. Go ahead. Go ahead, Bob.
I think this is important. We're talking about the history of planet Earth, right? Of human beings, 350,000 years. The largest migration of human beings occurred in the 1400s, and it's called the transcontinental slave trade or kidnapping trade. And even with the largest forced migration on planet Earth, this is including Egypt, right? The African American still holds high levels of African ancestry. So that never occurred in Egypt. And I'm done.
Was
Okay, cool. I'm going to close out, and I'm going to show this last thing to make sure everybody understood what's good. You go to YouTube, right? You click your channel. No, I'm going to search Shakadoodle on my way out of here, right? Then I go to his page right here, right? And he's sitting here talking about me with 11 people watching, but you sad. Now, let me dislike the video. Now, you come to his page with his lion slandering ass, and you click right here, PayPal me, and you see he lied about Smash. So he's not apologizing right now while he's swimming with his 11 people following. This dude lied and said I doxed him because he bought a shirt. All right? So make sure you store that in your little YouTube drama that this dude is a fucking liar and just trying to hate on my money, telling you, so do not buy a shirt from him because if he get mad at you, then you know what he gonna do too. This is his fucking page. He's an idiot. He doxed himself, and it was easy for my people to find. All right? So I'm out. Peace. Everybody have a good day.